podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
This is TWiT News Special number 381, recorded May 11th, 2022, Google I.O. Listeners of this program get an ad-free version if they're members of Club TWiT. $7 a month gives you ad-free versions of all of our shows, plus membership in the Club TWiT Discord, a great clubhouse for TWiT listeners. And finally, the TWiT Plus feed, with shows like Stacy's Book Club, The Untitled Linux Show, The Giz Fizz, and more. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit. And thanks for your support. Google I.O. is here. Hello, everybody. Leo Laporte joining me. Jason Howell from All About Android and Tech News Weekly. Hello, Jason.
Hello, it's good to be here. Although normally for Google I.O., I'm there and not here.
Well, you kind of made your room over like Google I.O., so that's good.
It's sparkly, it's fresh, it's festive.
Also, Jeff Jarvis is with us from This Week in Google and BuzzMachine.com.
Where's my snacks?
I don't have time to do the whole Craig Newmark song. We'll save that for another time. We are going to a hybrid event right now for Google I.O. I don't know if it's going to be at Shoreline, but there will be Google.
It's at Shoreline.
It's at Shoreline with developers in the audience, perhaps some press. None of us were invited.
There is definitely some press. I saw Dieter Bohn is tweeting from I.O., which is no surprise. Verge has a pretty tight relationship with Google, it seems.
So do you, though. I don't understand. There's a little...
Hey,
they really peeled things back this year.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Here we go.
It's all good.
Google I.O.
I wouldn't have been able to make it, as it turns out, anyways.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
It began with a problem. And it was kind of
noise in the video?
There was so much information in the world, and yet it was so difficult to find.
Little frogs,
so we tried
planes,
to solve that problem. But along the way,
fever
we
dream
found
the old Google
like how to
front
reply
page,
to all those emails.
Gmail.
What's the best way to get from A to B?
So this is a tour of Google Technologies, Google Maps.
Help you with your mail, with mapping.
Those that are still alive, anyway. Lens, Pixel 6.
My computer just crashed.
Windows blue screen of death.
From that,
Google
came
Drive.
this.
Photos.
To stop this, we made that. The more we
Chrome.
look, the more we find.
Password Manager. We should hear about Google and Microsoft and Apple's FIDO plans today.
An easier choice. Whether someone that can't see, can't hear, really making it accessible to as broad a set of people as possible.
Google is offering this stream with ASL for those who need it, and this stream will not be clean. This will be us commentating. So if you don't want that,
How dare you?
go to YouTube.
Yeah, don't know what to tell you there. Go to YouTube.
You're in the wrong place.
We are here to talk.
Little AR, little drumming, a little porpoise.
It just has to be built.
I'm sorry, Wales. San Francisco.
Quantum computing there.
I was just going to say the quantum. Got to get that in
Quantum
there.
Lab. They talked a lot about that last year.
Built to help.
Built to help. This is the new slogan, right? Oh, there it is, Shoreline. Wow, I remember that. And it's
And I
full.
think this year, so if you've been to Google I.O. in the past at Shoreline, the entire stadium is filled for the most part. And this time, I think they just have that bottom.
Yeah, you
floor
won't have the
area
blanket
filled, so.
area in the back.
Yeah.
Sundar Pichai, Alphabet CEO, on stage. Getting some applause from the employees and
Mic check.
residents.
1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
It's not exactly good
It's
morning.
on. After 2 years of starting many meetings on mute, I thought I should double check. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Let's actually make that welcome back. It's so great to be back in Shoreline Amphitheater after 3 years away.
And even though we didn't get to see it looks like they had the pre-show DJ
thank you
or
for
something
joining
on the
us, and to the
sides there.
thousands of developers, partners, and Googlers here with us. It's great to see all of you. And to the millions more joining us around the world on live stream, we are so happy you're here too. Last year, we shared how new breakthroughs in some of the most technically challenging areas of computer science are making Google products more helpful in the moments that matter.
Selfie shot.
All of this
Get
work
that
is in
selfie.
service of our timeless mission
Jeez.
to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
This is long-time
I'm excited
Google
to show you how we are driving that mission forward in
mission
two key
statement.
ways. By deepening our understanding of information so that we can turn it into knowledge, and advancing the state of computing so that knowledge is easier to access, no matter who or where you are. Today, you'll see how progress on these two parts of our mission ensures Google products are built to help. And I'll start with a few quick examples.
Big watch in the background. Look at that.
Throughout the pandemic,
the watch
Google has focused on delivering accurate information.
We also saw a
to help
leak
people
earlier
stay
from
healthy.
Evleaks of
Over
Pixel
the
6,
last
all
year,
the specs,
people used
everything.
Google Search and Maps to find where they could get a COVID vaccine nearly 2 billion times. We've also expanded our flood forecasting technology to help people stay safe.
This time the
in the face of natural
teleprompters are on the
disasters.
cameras in the back,
During last
which
year's
is good,
monsoon
gives us
season,
good
our flood alerts
contact with
notified
Sundar.
more
Unless
than
he's using that
23 million
AI
people in
feature
India and Bangladesh.
to
And
reposition
we
his eye.
estimate this supported the time we evacuated hundreds of thousands of people. In Ukraine, we worked with the government to rapidly deploy air raid alerts. To date, we have delivered hundreds of millions of alerts.
That's pretty cool. Who needs a big old siren when you got your Pixel 6?
You folks in the audience are masks, wise ones.
In March, I was in Poland, where millions of Ukrainians have sought refuge. Warsaw's population has increased by nearly 20%.
Oh, that's right. Dieter Bohn is a Googler. He left The Verge. Very recently.
And schools welcomed thousands of new students.
Yeah, okay. That explains it.
Somebody said some
Google
YouTubers are there.
with
We'll see.
was hosting someone.
Yeah.
In
Marcus
countries around the
Brownlee
world,
pops up.
Google Translate has been a
certainly.
crucial
Of
tool
course.
for newcomers and residents trying to communicate
I
with one
forgot the
another.
Dieter Bohn.
We are
Dieter
proud
Bohn
of how it's
moved
helping
over to
Ukrainians find a bit of hope and connection until they are able to return home again. Real-time translation is a testament to how knowledge and computing come together to make people's lives better. More people are using Google Translate than ever before.
And translation
but
is
we still have work to
phenomenally
do
better
to
than
make
it
it
was only 2 years
universally
ago.
accessible.
It's just unbelievable.
There is a long tail of
It really
languages
is.
that are underrepresented on the web today, and translating them is a hard technical problem. That's because translation models are usually
Trademark
trained
Microsoft.
with bilingual text. For example, the same phrase in both English and Spanish. However, there's not enough publicly available bilingual text for every language. So with advances in machine learning, we have developed a monolingual approach where the model learns to translate a new language without ever seeing a direct translation of it.
What?
By collaborating with native speakers and institutions, we found these translations
It's
are
like a
of sufficient
zero-knowledge
quality
proof
to be
of
useful.
language translation.
Today,
What?
I'm excited to announce that we are adding 24 new languages to Google Translate.
Wow. 24 new languages.
Tell me if you've heard of any of those.
Yeah, right. That's incredible.
This includes the
Open it up
first
like that.
indigenous language of the Americas, and together these languages
Wow,
are
that's
spoken
great.
by more than 300 million people. Breakthroughs like this are powering a radical shift in how we access knowledge and use computers. Yet so much of what's knowable about our world goes beyond language. It's in the physical and geospatial information around us. For more than 15 years, Google Maps has worked to create rich and useful representations of this information to help us navigate. Advances in AI are taking this work to the next level, whether it's expanding our coverage to remote areas, reimagining how to explore the world in more intuitive ways. Around the world, we have mapped around 1.6 billion buildings and over 60 million kilometers of roads to date. Some remote and rural areas have previously been difficult to map due to scarcity of high-quality imagery and distinct building types and terrain. To address this, we are using computer vision to detect buildings at scale from satellite images. As a result, we've increased the number of buildings on Google Maps in Africa by 5 times since July 2020, from 60 million to nearly 300 million. We have also doubled the number of buildings mapped in India and Indonesia this year. And globally, over 20% of buildings on Google Maps have been detected using these new techniques. We've gone a step further and made the data set of buildings in Africa publicly available. International organizations like the United Nations and the World Bank are already using it to better understand population density and to provide support and emergency assistance. We're also bringing new capabilities into maps. Using advances in 3D mapping and machine learning, we are fusing billions of aerial and street-level images to create a new high-fidelity representation of a place. These breakthrough technologies are coming together to power a new experience in maps called immersive view. It allows you to explore a place like never before. Let's go to London and take a look. What a beautiful city. Say you're planning to visit Westminster with your family. You can get into this immersive view straight from maps on your phone. And you can pan around the sides. Here's Westminster Abbey. And if you're thinking of heading to see Big Ben, you can check if there's traffic, how busy it is, and even see the weather forecast. It's London, so I'm guessing it's rain. Now, if you're looking to grab a bite during your visit, you can check out restaurants nearby and get a glimpse inside.
Canned laughter, it sure sounded.
Canned laughter.
This is why, of course, you want to have employees in the audience.
Yeah.
What's amazing is that this isn't a drone.
Although a lot of the people in that audience are, true fans, developers.
Developers will always.
They're as excited. They're very excited.
Allows this experience to run on any smartphone. This feature will start rolling out in Google Maps for select cities globally this year. Another big improvement to Maps is eco-friendly routing. Launched last year, it shows you the most fuel-efficient route, giving you the choice to save money on gas and reduce carbon emissions. Eco-friendly routes have already rolled out in US and Canada, and people have used them to travel 86 billion miles, helping save an estimated 500,000 metric tons of carbon emissions, the equivalent of taking 100,000 cars off the road. I'm happy to share that we are expanding this feature to more places, including Europe later this year. In this Berlin example, you could reduce your fuel consumption by 18%, taking a route that is just 3 minutes slower. These small decisions have a big impact at scale. With the expansion into Europe and beyond, we estimate carbon emission savings will double by the end of the year.
I've seen that feature quite a bit, and I've used it a lot, at least here in Petaluma, here in town.
We've added
it pops
a similar
up all the time
feature
for
to
me.
Google Flights. When you search for flights between two cities, we also show you carbon emission estimates alongside other information like price and schedule, making it easy to choose a greener option. These eco-friendly features in Maps and Flights are part of our goal to empower 1 billion people to make more sustainable choices through our products, and we are excited about the progress here. Beyond Maps, video is becoming an even more fundamental part of how we share information, communicate, and learn. Often, when you come to YouTube, you're looking for a specific moment in a video, and we want to help you get there faster. Last year, we launched auto-generated chapters to make it easier to jump to the part you're most interested in. This is also great for creators because it saves them time making chapters. We are now applying multimodal technology from DeepMind. It simultaneously uses text, audio, and video to auto-generate chapters with greater accuracy and speed. With this, we now have a goal to 10x the number of videos with auto-generated chapters from 8 million today to 80 million over the next year. Often the fastest way to get a sense of a video's content is to read its transcript. So we are also using speech recognition models to transcribe videos. Video transcripts are now available to all Android and iOS users. Next up, we are bringing auto-translated captions on YouTube to mobile, which means viewers can now auto-translate video captions in 16 languages, and creators can grow their global audience. We'll also be expanding auto-translated captions to Ukrainian YouTube content next month, part of our larger effort to increase access to accurate information about the war.
Yeah, I mean, both of those key features that he was talking about in YouTube, especially the auto-generated chapters and the transcription, I mean, use those all the time. They are so helpful.
We are building it into our Workspace products to help people be more efficient. Whether you work for a small business or a large institution, chances are you spend a lot of time reading documents. Maybe you felt that wave of panic when you realize you have a 25-page document to read ahead of a meeting that starts in 5 minutes. At Google, whenever I get a long document or email, I look for a TLDR at the top. TLDR is short for too long, didn't read. And it got us thinking, wouldn't life be better if more things had a TLDR? That's why we have introduced automated summarization for Google Docs.
That's interesting.
Interesting. The cheers coming from the employees.
Using one of our machine learning models, Google Docs will automatically parse and pull out the main
a problem
points.
at Google.
This marks a big leap forward for natural
team
language
offsite.
processing. It requires understanding of long passages, information compression, and language generation.
This is not a this is a feature
used to
that
be outside of the capabilities of even the
Microsoft and
best
Apple
machine
both
learning
tried to
models.
offer, but I bet you
And
Google
docs
does a
are
better
only
job.
the beginning.
Yeah.
We are
Pro
launching
tip,
summarization
don't rely
for
on
other
the
products and
TLDR
Yeah.
to tell you everything you need to
It'll
know.
come
so
to
that
Google
your boss
Chat in the next few months,
knows that you're
providing a
reading.
helpful digest of chat conversations.
Oh, chat
So you can
digest.
jump right back into a group chat or look back at the key highlights. What's for lunch?
That would be really helpful.
That's neat.
All the employees are laughing.
What's for lunch is definitely a highlight in my opinion. We are working to bring transcription and summarization to Google Meet as well, so you can catch up on some of the most important meetings you missed. Of course, there are many moments where you really want to be in a virtual room with someone, and that's why we continue to improve audio and video quality.
Yeah, they showed this last year.
Inspired by Project Starline, which we introduced at I/O last year. We've been testing it across Google offices to get feedback and improve the technology for the future. And in the process, we've learned some things that we can apply right now to Google Meet. Starline inspired machine learning-powered image processing to automatically improve your image quality on Google Meet. And it works on all types of devices, so you look your best wherever you are.
We actually use Google Meet a lot. We're kind of a Google house.
We're also bringing studio-quality virtual lighting to Meet.
Workspace.
You can adjust the light position and brightness, so you'll still be visible in a dark room or sitting in front of a window. We are testing this feature to ensure everyone looks like their true selves.
Yeah, that was first on the Pixel.
Continuing the work we have done with
very
real
cool.
tone on the Pixel phones on the Monk scale, which we will tell you about in just a moment.
Although it's
These
a
are
feature
just
that I
some of
never
the ways
used.
AI
Never
is
used it,
improving
yeah.
our
I
products,
didn't even know it
making them
existed.
more helpful, more accessible, and delivering innovative new features for everyone. Now I'll turn it over to Prabhakar to share the progress we are making on our original and most important product, Google Search.
Of course.
Prabhakar Raghavan, who is Senior Vice President responsible for Search Assistant, Geo, Ads, Commerce, and Payment.
Thanks, Sundar. People's quest for knowledge often starts with a search. And over time, we worked hard to understand the trillions of questions that people ask us every year and to deliver the most helpful information possible. But the way people search for information shouldn't be constrained to typing keywords in a search box. It's human nature to gain knowledge through multiple senses and inputs as we go about our day. For instance, if I hear a bird chirping outside the window, I might point to it and ask my wife, what kind of bird is that?
His wife knows.
And while it's a huge challenge for computers to
Honey, what
understand
kind of bird is that?
fashion the way we do, advances in technology are helping bridge the gap. With AI technologies like natural language understanding and computer vision, we're transforming search to be far more natural and helpful than ever before. Imagine a future where you can search any way and anywhere and find helpful information about what you see, hear, and experience in whatever way is most intuitive to you. This is our vision for the future of search, and it's one we've already taken steps towards. When Google started,
But first,
our
you have to put
breakthrough
cameras
was in
throughout your
understanding
house
text-based
and
queries.
backyard so we can
Over
see
time,
the
share
birds.
them.
people have asked
share
us more
them with us.
complex and nuanced questions. And our investment in natural language understanding has significantly improved our ability to answer these, even when the query feels like a brain teaser.
Hollywood movie about a dog
I don't
and
know
a
this one
grandpa,
either.
based on a Japanese movie
Hachi,
over
a
10
dog's
years ago.
story. That's the answer.
A dog story. Okay.
But for many questions, it can be easier to speak than type, which is why over a decade ago, we introduced voice search. We now get hundreds of millions of voice queries every day.
Happy to
And
record
adoption
them
is even
and
higher
listen to them off-site.
amongst new
Thank
internet
you for
users.
giving those to us.
In India, for example, nearly 30%
I'm being
of
mean.
Hindi queries are spoken.
It does
Often
run through one's
seeing
mind, though, does it not?
understanding.
Yeah,
So we reimagined Google Search
They
yet
wouldn't be
again
where they are
with
right
Google
now if they
Lens
hadn't
Right.
to help
kept
you
them
search
and
what you see
documented them
using your camera.
Done all
right
that.
That's the
from your
trade-off,
search
isn't
history.
it? You know,
Yeah, it is the trade-off.
Lens is
exactly.
now used over 8 billion times
Lens
a
is
month,
amazing.
which is nearly tripled last year. Now, we're redefining Google Search yet again. We're combining our understanding of information across multiple modes to help you express your needs more naturally than ever before. Just last month, we launched multi-search, one of our most significant updates to search. In the Google app, you can now search by taking a photo and asking a question at the same time. You can snap a pic of a spill-proof water bottle and ask for one with rainbows on it to brighten your kid's day.
Can you get me this with
Or
rainbows?
in my case, I was able to take a photo of my leaky faucet and order the part to fix it.
Wow.
Funny thing is, I still don't know what that part is called.
Don't need to.
But this is just the beginning of what we can do with multi-search. Later this year, we'll add a new way to search for local information with multi-search near me. Just take a picture or long press one you see online and add near me to find what you need from the millions of local businesses we serve in Google. Near me will work on multi-search for everything from apparel to home goods to my personal favorite, food and local restaurants. So, let's say I spot a tasty-looking dish online. I don't know what's in it or what it's called, but it's making me hungry. With this new capability, I can quickly identify that it's japchae, a Korean dish, find nearby restaurants that serve it, and enjoy it in no time.
Forget face recognition. I want food recognition.
Yeah. At what point will it be to where you can point your, share a picture of a dish and it will pull out all the ingredients?
That's cool.
And make a determination.
What's the nutritional?
Recognizes the visual intricacies of the dish and combines it with an understanding of my intent. That I'm looking for local restaurants that serve japchae. It then scans millions of images and reviews posted on web pages from our active community of Maps contributors to find results about nearby spots.
And this is why they've been urging you to contribute to Maps for all this time.
Will be available globally later this year in English and will come to more languages over time.
We've determined that this is Kung Pao chicken, and we've determined that the best Kung Pao chicken is this restaurant 5 miles away from you.
Single frame. But sometimes you might want information about a whole scene in front of you. In the future, with an advancement we're calling scene exploration, you'll be able to use multi-search to pan your camera and ask a question.
This is science fiction.
Instantly glean insights about multiple objects in a
Who are those people?
Let me give you an example.
Where does she live?
Oh, geez.
Let's say you're trying to pick out the perfect candy bar for your friend who's a bit of a chocolate connoisseur.
So you take a picture of the rack?
You know they like dark chocolate and have an aversion to nuts. And of course, you want to get them something
Which of these gets the highest ratings?
Good. If you went to the store today to find the best nut-free dark chocolate, you'd be standing in the aisle for a while.
Meanwhile, Google can point you right to it.
Figure out which type of chocolate it is, whether it's nut-free, compare and contrast the options, and maybe even look up reviews online. But
that's so
scene
much
exploration,
work.
You'll be able to scan the entire shelf with your camera and see helpful insights overlaid in front of you.
That's AR. That's the beginning of AR.
You go.
That's what you're going to do in glasses, right?
Yeah, at some point. At the point when Google says, see, we were onto something with Google Glass. Check out what we can do now.
Try doing that with just keywords.
Yeah, that's exactly what AR was all about.
Scene exploration uses computer vision to instantly connect the multiple frames that make up the scene and identify all the objects within it.
And of course, you don't have to pan your camera if it's on glasses. You just look around.
The richness of the web and Google's knowledge graph to surface the most helpful results. In this case, which bars nut-free.
Again, this is the benefit of Google collecting all the information.
Scene exploration is
the positive
a powerful breakthrough in our device's ability to understand the world the way we do.
Oh, imagine having this in glasses.
The ability to see relevant information overlaid in the context of the world.
Totally where they're headed for this.
You could imagine using this in a pharmacy to find a scent-free moisturizer, or at your local corner store.
No, I can't.
To find
but okay.
a black-owned wine label to sell.
Okay, I might do that. Yeah, which of these is the most environmentally responsible companies? Or
This is like having a supercharged Control F for the world around you. Looking further out,
supercharged Control F.
This technology could be used beyond everyday needs to help address societal challenges.
Is that
like
what
supporting
Control F does?
conservationists in identifying plant species that need protection, or helping
that's for
disaster
the
relief
website.
workers quickly sort through donations in times of need. From multi-search near me to scene exploration, the advancements we've talked about today are in service of our broader vision to make search even more natural and helpful. So you can search your whole world asking questions.
And a word of caution, because we always see at Google I/O, it's always seen in the past, technologies which emerge later or never emerge, and maybe don't work quite as well. Remember the Google Translate with the earbuds.
And it's critical that they see themselves reflected in our products.
Never really happened, and there's many
for everyone.
Yeah, totally. They show off a lot of Google I/O, a lot of like, here's what we're working on. Here's what's coming soon. And even some of the coming soons don't ever happen for whatever reason.
A multi-year initiative to build more equitable camera and imagery experiences on Pixel 6.
That's been a pretty remarkable technology in the Pixel 6 camera.
Much needed.
Yeah.
It's an ethic. It's when we start talking about the ethics of technology, that's the kind of thing that matters.
Our commitment to skin tone equity across Google products. We partnered with Harvard professor Dr. Ellis Monk, who spent the past decade researching the impact of race, ethnicity, and skin tone on social inequality. And his research and expertise are shaping how we approach inclusivity in our products.
I wonder what Timnit Gebru would say about this.
Before I hand it over to my colleague Annie to tell you more about the work we're doing in this space, let's hear from Dr. Monk himself.
This is Dr. Ellis Monk.
Oftentimes when it comes down to representation, I'm amongst the darkest that you would find in media, when I know that there are much darker folks, even of different races.
Color biases and colorism are really a global phenomena. The reality is life chances, opportunities, all of these things were very much tied to your phenotypical makeup.
It's facts. I feel like ever since I was a kid, if you were dark, you were not considered pretty.
From a really young age, I did feel a really strong sense of responsibility to dig more deeply into issues of colorism. So for the last 10 years, I've been working on issues of racial inequality. And I developed a 10-point skin tone scale with the goal of making sure that everyone across the skin tone continuum feels represented.
Do you feel like right now it's easy to find your skin tone?
When we type beauty tutorial, if we only see white women, just ties into the bigger picture of not being represented.
Yeah. We can weed out these biases in our technology from a really early stage and make sure that the technologies that we have work equally well across all skin tones. I think this is just a huge step forward.
Being represented is a right. If the internet truly is for everyone, then everyone should be represented.
There is great potential for the tech industry to adopt the scale because the world is a better place when technology works equally well for everyone.
Those are great images.
Mm-hmm.
At Google, we build products for the world.
She's the author of a book called Building for Everyone.
With varied backgrounds and experiences rely on our products every day. As Dr. Monk mentioned, skin tone is one of many important dimensions that shapes people's identity and experiences. And we all deserve to feel seen and validated. Today, we're excited to share how we're starting to use the Monk Skin Tone Scale to build more inclusive products across Google. Developed by Dr. Monk, the scale adds a critical step to our product development and testing to ensure the technology powering our features works well for everyone.
Entrepreneur residence at UOP.
Our research has shown that more people in the US find the Monk scale to more accurately reflect their skin tone compared to the current industry standard. This was especially true for people with darker skin tones.
What is the current industry standard?
We're testing the scale globally and in different product settings, and we'll continue to improve it to reflect people everywhere. At Google, we've started using the Monk scale to help improve how we understand and represent skin tone in products like photos and search. Every day, millions of people search the web.
This is much more detailed than they did when they were revealing the Pixel 6 and these
We've
features.
started to roll out improvements
I don't think they even mentioned the Monk
search
scale.
To show a range of skin tone diversity so that people from all kinds of backgrounds can find more relevant results.
Right.
And for
makeup
broadening out this
like
research. Everyday eyeshadow and bridal makeup looks, users will have a new way to filter by relevant skin tones to find more helpful results. I can't tell you the number of times that
Google, I think, that
complimentary
pushed for that in emojis, remember, the varying skin tones and the skin colors in the emojis.
I can't tell you the number of times complementary shades for my skin tone haven't been available. And so I'm personally thrilled to be able to easily filter for images that I can relate to. Building on our work with Real Tone, we're also using the Monk scale to improve imagery experiences in products like Google Photos. And later this month, we'll be launching new Real Tone filters that were designed to work well across skin tones and evaluated using the Monk scale. These filters were crafted by a diverse range of renowned image makers who are celebrated for beautiful and accurate depictions of their subjects.
So the first step was to put this into the cameras on the Pixel 6.
You can apply the beauty
but now it's
and
really
authenticity
everywhere.
of professional editing to your own
search.
photos with just a few taps. Building more inclusive experiences is a long-term commitment, one that involves close collaboration with brands, publishers, and researchers. And that's why we're pleased to announce that today we are open sourcing the Monk skin tone scale so anyone can use it as a more representative skin tone guide.
So the emojis are using something called the Fitzpatrick scale, which is only 5 or 6 skin tones. So this is
in research
much
and
more
in product development.
Appropriate. The Fitzpatrick scale is really for skin
our
cancer.
goal is to improve it over time in partnership with the industry. In the coming months, we'll also be developing a standardized way
about
to
the
label
colorism
content
that exists
for
in
images
society
on Google
too,
search.
and so
creators,
giving people
brands,
respect
and publishers
for their skin tone is critical to
that
ethic.
Remember when
like
Time
acknowledging
Magazine's cover of OJ was dark in several shades to make him look more
All
menacing.
of this is part of our ongoing commitment to ensuring that the web is as representative as our world.
Skintone.google.
And now, let's check in with our watch party in Sao Paulo.
Okay. That's an abrupt shift. This is a nice page, skintone.google, if you want to see more about this. A free development tool from Google Responsible AI.
Ah, Responsible AI.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Well, that was fun.
Okay, well.
Check in with Sao Paulo. Okay, bye.
Bye, Sao Paulo.
Thanks, Annie and team, for such inspiring work, and hola, Sao Paulo. So far today, we have talked about how we are advancing access to knowledge as part of our mission.
Portuguese there, but maybe
from
it's the
better
same.
language translation to improved search experiences across images and video, to richer explorations of the world using maps. Now we are going to focus on how we make that knowledge even more accessible through computing. The journey we've been on with computing
Maybe
is
a
an
Pixel
exciting
for you,
one.
Jeff.
Every shift from desktop to the
Pixel
web
book.
to mobile to wearables
don't get my hopes up.
computing has made knowledge more
I don't
useful
even
in
know
our
if we've
daily
had
lives.
any real leaks about a Pixel
As
book.
helpful as our
One of those
devices
little
are,
Android
we've
figurines
had
that
to
they have
work
at I/O
very
this
hard
year
to
has a
adapt to
Pixel
them.
book, so you never know.
Always
Maybe
thought
that's a
computers
tease.
should be adapting to people, not the other way around. So we continue to push ourselves to make progress here. To share more about how we are making computing more natural and intuitive with the Google Assistant, here's Sissy.
Thanks, Sundar. It's amazing how quickly voice is becoming such a common way to access computing. Every month, over 700 million people around the world get everyday tasks done with their assistant. They can just say,
Steve Shao is Vice President GM for Google Assistant.
And even in the car. But these interactions are still not as natural as they could be. First, you should be able to easily initiate conversations with your assistant. So today, we're introducing 2 new options so you don't have to say Google every time.
Hallelujah.
You can say hallelujah?
That would be good, wouldn't it? Hallelujah.
First,
everything would seem like a really great idea.
is a new feature for Desktop Max called Look and Talk, which is beginning to roll out today. You can simply look directly at your device and ask for what you need.
Yeah,
like when
it
you
does
make eye
know you're
contact
looking at
to
it.
start a conversation with another person.
Makes sense.
Once you opt in, Look and Talk is designed to activate when both face match and voice match recognize it's you. And video from these interactions is processed entirely on device, so it isn't shared with Google or anyone else.
Google, how do I make a bomb not going to be shared? That's good.
Good. That's Nest Hub Max.
Let me turn the camera back on and show you how it works.
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, Jeff.
Walking into the kitchen to start a
But
weekend
now
with my
it's going to happen
family,
more often. All you have to do is look at
look
it.
over
You go, oh, I'm sorry.
and
I didn't mean
ask.
to look at you.
It told me how to make a kebab, though.
Show me some beaches in
That's
Santa
good. That's better.
Saving me from myself.
It's working, although she had to kind of glare at it for it to work.
Santa Cruz.
There's more than a few beaches near Santa Cruz.
I'm kind of glad you have to glare at it. It has to be intentional.
Yeah, glare
Pretty
at
cool,
it.
right?
Yeah, right.
Look and glare, they should call it.
How long does it take to get to that first one?
That's pretty impressive.
By car, the trip to Natural Bridges State Beach
Oh,
is
beautiful
51
beach.
minutes.
Highly recommended. Just to hang out there in high school.
That's so much easier than saying the hot word over and over. The ability to distinguish intentional eye contact from a passing glance requires 6 machine learning models that are processing over 100 signals, like proximity, head orientation, and gaze direction.
So, no,
to
she
evaluate
really had to
users'
lean
intent
in
all
and
real time.
look at it, and obviously
We've also tested and refined Look and Talk to work across
wanted
a
it to
range
work.
of different skin tones.
Yeah.
Using some of the same principles of inclusion behind real tone on Pixel 6 camera and monk scale.
although, note the way that the Nest Hub Max is pointed, you can't see the screen, and I'm wondering if that's just a mock-up.
Oh, you cynic, you.
We're also excited to expand quick phrases on Nest Hub Max.
But there's a plug in the back of it. They couldn't fake that.
Like answering calls on Pixel 6 and stopping timers.
It's a little
on Nest
suspicious
devices.
that it's cheated so
And
that
in the
you
next
just
Are you going to tell me the Wizard of Oz is
You'll
just a
be
short
able to
guy?
ask many common requests,
Like you?
like setting alarms, asking for the time.
They wanted to
and
make sure the
controlling
demo
lights
worked.
From
Let's
your
put it
Nest Hub
that way.
Max,
Yeah.
all without saying the hot word.
So there are a limited number of things you can do. You
Right.
can't just
All right, check this out.
Which is how they did their previous
Turn off
no
the living
hot
room
word
light.
thing that they rolled out, months ago.
Right.
It was limited to certain commands.
That was so easy. I just said what I wanted. Designed with privacy in mind,
She
you
did
choose
not
which
look at the
quick
screen
phrases
there,
are
so
enabled
I
for your
again am
Nest Hub
thinking
Max.
this is a canned demo.
So those are 2 ways that it's getting easier to start talking to the assistant. We're also improving how the assistant understands you by being more responsive as you just speak naturally.
That's
If you
not
listen closely,
necessarily a
people's
good thing.
conversations are full of ums, pauses, and corrections. But that doesn't get in the way of understanding each other. And that's because people are active listeners.
already does that
and
to a
can
good
react
extent.
to
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah, it does.
views
I can
in
pause
good
when I
at
think
that.
of something,
200
and it figures it
Yeah.
out.
Humans
Although you
handle
pause
this
too
so
long, then
naturally.
it fires it off, and it's like, I don't
Doing this for
understand.
open-ended
Yeah.
That can be a little
conversations
frustrating.
across the assistant is a really hard problem. Moving our speech models to run on the device made things faster, but we wanted to push the envelope even more. The breakthrough comes by creating more comprehensive neural networks that run on the Google Tensor chip, which was built to handle on-device machine learning tasks super fast. Let me show you a preview of how this will all come together.
In the Nest Hub Max?
For example, I might tab
I don't think
and
so.
hold
There
on
is
my
in the
Pixel
Pixel
button
6.
and say, play
Maybe they're
the
going to
new
announce a new
song
Nest Hub
from-
Max.
I mean, that is the rumor.
Oh, look at that.
Nest Hub Max with a removable-
It went,
Google
yeah.
says,
Florence and the something.
Got it. Playing free from Florence and the Machine on
And the
Spotify.
Not on YouTube Music.
Oh, good catch. Yeah.
You heard how I stumbled at the beginning, but my assistant gently encouraged me to complete my thought.
Like a therapist. It's the Freudian version.
And then even when I messed up the artist name, Google
do you
Assistant
feel about
correctly
that?
figured out the song I wanted.
You no
It's
longer
amazing
need a
how these
therapist.
improvements
Introducing
change the way it feels to talk to your assistant. You can stop worrying about the right way to ask for something and just relax
No, you
and
can't.
talk naturally. This is how we're pushing computing forward with natural conversation, letting you easily initiate conversation and making it so you can just speak naturally, all so you can be truly understood.
That is a
I'm
learned
excited
skill,
to see how
though.
our voices
As easy as
will
that
become
sounds
a faster,
to do, it's never easy to
hands-free way
actually
get
do
things
in my
done
experience.
across many types of devices.
Not sure it's a good idea to
including
push
a
the
growing
notion that
Android
the assistant
ecosystem
understands
that you'll hear
you.
about in a few minutes. Thanks, and back to you, Sundar.
Sundar's doing more MC.
A lot of it. Yeah.
Thanks, Sissy. We are continually working to advance our conversational capabilities. Conversation and natural language processing are powerful ways to make computers more accessible to everyone. And large language models are key to this. Last year, we introduced LaMDA, our generative language model for dialogue applications that can converse on any topic. Today, we are excited to announce LaMDA 2, our most advanced conversational AI yet. We are at the beginning of a journey to make models like these useful to people, and we feel a deep responsibility to get it right. And to make progress, we need people to experience the technology and provide feedback. We opened LaMDA up to thousands of Googlers who enjoyed testing it and seeing what it was capable of. This yielded significant quality improvements and led to a reduction in inaccurate or offensive responses.
A reduction in offensive
AI
responses. That's
It's a
good
new
idea.
way to explore AI features
AI
with a
test
broader
kitchen.
audience. Inside the AI test kitchen, there are a few different experiences. Each is meant to give you a sense of what it might be like to have LaMDA in your hands and use it for things you care about. The first is called Imagine It. This demo tests if the model can take a creative idea you give it and generate imaginative and relevant descriptions. These are not products,
like
they're
the
quick sketches that allow us to explore what LaMDA can do with it.
GPT-2 and
As you see, the user interfaces are very simple. Say you're writing a story and you need some inspirational ideas. Maybe one of your characters is exploring the deep ocean. You can ask what that might feel like. Here, LaMDA describes a scene in the Mariana Trench. It even generates follow-up
If you copy
questions
that,
for
is
you
it
on the fly.
plagiarism?
Yeah, it's a
You
good
can
question.
ask LaMDA to imagine what
I was
kind
wondering.
of creatures might live there. Remember, we didn't hand program the
Wait,
model.
do
write a whole
waves crash
book?
against
Like
a
submarines
submarine
or
when you're
bioluminescence.
underwater?
It synthesizes
You don't have
these
waves
concepts
crashing against
from
a
its
submarine
training
then.
data. That's why you can ask about
Waves are
almost
only on the
any
surface.
topic. Saturn's rings, or even imagine
well,
being on a
remember
planet
the
with
conversation from last Google I/O? That was a very strange conversation.
Yes.
Staying on topic is a challenge for language models. Say you're building a learning experience. You want it to be open-ended enough to allow people to explore where
Is this an app
curiosity
that we
takes
can
them,
download or a
but
website?
stay safely on topic.
Yeah, I'd play around with that.
Our second demo tests how LaMDA does with that.
Wonder how
In
it would
this
do with
demo,
song
we
lyrics.
prime the model to focus on the topic of dogs.
I hate writing lyrics.
It again starts by
Let it do
generating
it
a
for
question
me.
to spark conversation. Have you ever wondered why dogs love to play fetch so much? And if you ask a follow-up question, you get an answer with some relevant details. It's interesting. It thinks it might have something to do with the sense of smell and treasure hunting. You can take the conversation any way you want. Maybe you're curious about how smell works and you just want to dive deeper. You'll get a unique response for that too. No matter what you ask, it'll try to keep the conversation on the topic of dogs. If I start asking about cricket, which I probably would, the model brings the topic back to dogs in a fun way.
How annoying.
I do think dogs would. Now, the challenge of staying on topic is a tricky one. It's an important area of research for building useful applications with language models. And this last demo is my favorite, so we're going to do it live. Let me turn it over to Josh.
Oh, they're getting us used to the idea that AI is determining what the direction is, right?
Thanks,
No, we're not talking about dogs because you want to. We're staying on cricket.
And this will be the first ever live demo of LaMDA from stage. Are you all ready to see how it works?
Oh, let's see.
All right. Here's the opportunity for awkwardness.
Here I am in the AI Test Kitchen app. I'm going to open up this demo called List It. Now, List It explores if LaMDA can take a complex goal or topic and break it down into relevant subtasks.
This guy's been
it can
at
help me
Google
figure
12
out
years.
what I'm trying to do
Senior
and generate
Director of
useful
Product
ideas
Management
I
at
might
Google.
not have thought of. If you love to-do lists like I do, this is a dream come true. I'm going to tap Start, and this is a project I've been thinking a lot about lately. Plant a vegetable garden. I'll send this off to LaMDA.
Because the
and
world
there it
is about to end.
On the fly, it's come up with these different steps and broken it down into this list of subtasks. I can see things
How
like
much
make a
food
list
would a
of what I want
family
to
of
grow,
4 need to
the
survive for
location.
20 years?
I can also regenerate
How
a
do I
list
build a
on the fly
bazooka?
to get even more ideas. Now, what's interesting about these is I can quickly
So it's actually making
drop
a
into one
to-do
of them.
list
Let's
for you.
say this one, like what might grow in the area. And you can see it will give me further suggestions.
Wow.
I can keep going, breaking this down,
This is
where
kind of
eventually it gives me a
interesting.
list
Model.
of what I might want to plant.
This is really interesting.
Like tomatoes or lettuce or garlic. We'll keep garlic out of it this time. One of
Why?
the other things LaMDA does is not just break down
you're all in a
lists,
bunker
but you can
and it's-
generate a tip. So here, when
not
I tap
friendly.
generate a tip, it's
You
never
don't want
seen
to
this one
stink when
before.
you're in a
Actually,
bunker
it's
with
telling me if I have a
40
small
people,
yard or
yeah.
patio. It gives me different vegetables I might be able to grow.
Wow.
Now, when we think about products like this and experiences like this, it's much more than just coming up with a
I
list
wanna
of
play with
vegetables
this.
to grow.
Yeah,
if I
me too.
scroll back up, you can see all the different pathways that LaMDA is helping me think through and giving me tips along the way. And just like that, this whole task feels a lot less daunting. Back to you, Sundar.
That's pretty cool. Live demo worked.
Yeah.
Even surprised him with a tip he hadn't
Thanks,
seen
Josh.
before.
Just like the other demos, you can input all kinds of goals, whether it's moving to a new city or learning an instrument. These experiences show the potential of language models to one day help us with things like planning, learning about the world, and more. Of course, there are significant challenges to solve before these models can truly be useful. While we have improved safety, the model might still generate inaccurate, inappropriate, or offensive responses. That's why
Again
we're
with the
providing
offensive.
feedback in the app so people can help report problems. And we'll be doing all of this work in accordance with our AI
Facebook?
principles. Our process will be iterative, opening up access over the coming months, and carefully assessing feedback with a broad range of stakeholders, from AI researchers and social scientists to human rights
normies.
experts. We'll incorporate this feedback into future versions of LaMDA and share our findings as we go. Over time, we intend to continue adding other emerging areas of AI into our AI test kitchen. and you can learn more here.
G.co/AI test
As you
kitchen.
just saw, LaMDA 2 has incredible conversational capabilities. To explore other aspects of natural language processing and AI, we recently announced a new model. It's called Pathways Language Model, or PaLM for short. It's our largest model to date and trained on 540 billion parameters. PaLM demonstrates breakthrough performance on many natural language processing tasks,
I guess that trademark's
such as
available
generating
now.
code from text, answering a math word problem, or even explaining a joke. It achieves this to greater scale. And when we combine that scale with a new
Twitter
technique
irony
called chain of
explanation.
thought prompting, the results are promising.
Chain of
thought prompting allows us to describe multi-step problems as a series of intermediate steps. Let's take an example of a math word problem that requires reasoning. Normally, how you use a model is you prompt it with a question and an answer, and then you start asking questions. In this case, how many hours are in the month of May? So as you can see, the model didn't quite get it right. So in chain of thought prompting, we give the model a question-answer pair, but this time, we explain how the answer was derived. Kind of like when your teacher gives you a step-by-step example to help you understand how to solve a problem. Now, if you ask the model again, how many hours are in the month of May or other related question, it actually answers correctly, and it even shows its work.
So Test Kitchen is not yet open to the public. You can go to the website and get the same info
Chain of thought
you just
prompting
got, but it
increases
says
accuracy by
we're
a
opening
large
it up
margin.
to small groups of people
This
gradually.
leads to state-of-the-art performance across several reasoning benchmarks, including math word problems. And we can do it all without ever changing how the model is trained. PaLM is highly capable and can do so much more. For example, you might be someone who speaks a language that's not well represented on the web today, which makes it hard to find information. Even more frustrating because the answer you're looking for is probably out there. PaLM offers a new approach that holds enormous promise for making knowledge more accessible for everyone. Let me show you an example in which we can help answer questions in a language like Bengali, spoken by 250 million people. Just like before, we prompt the model with 2 examples of questions in Bengali with both Bengali and English answers. That's it. Now we can start asking questions in Bengali. What's the national song of Bangladesh? The answer, by the way, is Amar Shonar Bangla, and PaLM got it right too. This is not that surprising because you would expect that content to exist in Bengali. But you can also try something that is less likely to have related information in Bengali, such as what are popular pizza toppings in New York City? And the model again answers correctly in Bengali.
Pepperoni, sausage,
so it
and
probably
mushrooms.
just stirred up a debate amongst New Yorkers about how correct the answer really is. What is so impressive is PaLM has never seen parallel sentences between Bengali and English. It was never explicitly thought to answer questions or translate at all. The model brought all of its capabilities together to answer questions correctly in Bengali.
Wow.
And we can extend the technique to more languages and other complex tasks. We are so
I'm unclear, but it says it hasn't been taught to translate. And yet it is translating.
We're so optimistic about the potential for language models. One day we hope we can answer questions on more topics in any language you speak, making knowledge even more accessible in search and across all of Google.
It's understanding the Bengali question, answering
today are
in
possible
both English and
Bengali,
but not actually translating from one to the other.
Recently, we announced plans to invest $9.5 billion in data centers and offices across the U.S.
Which no one wants to go to.
One of our state-of-the-art data centers is in Mays County, Oklahoma. I'm excited to announce that there we are launching the world's largest publicly available machine learning hub for all our Google Cloud customers. This machine learning hub has 8 cloud TPU v4 pods, custom built on the same networking infrastructure that powers Google's largest neural models. They provide nearly 9 exaflops of computing power in aggregate, bringing our customers an unprecedented ability to run complex models and workloads. We hope this will fuel innovation across many fields, from medicine to logistics, sustainability, and more. And speaking of sustainability, this hub is already operating at 90% carbon-free energy. This is helping us make progress on our goal to become the first major company to operate all our data centers and campuses globally on 24/7 carbon-free energy by 2030. Even as we invest in our data centers, we are also working to innovate on our mobile platforms, so more processing can actually happen locally on device. Google Tensor, our custom system on a chip, was an important step in this direction. It's already running on Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro and brings our AI capabilities, including the best speech recognition we've ever deployed, right to your phone. It's also a big step forward in making those devices more secure.
Huge missed opportunity if
Combined with
launched the
Android's
6A
private
without the
compute
10
core, it can run data-powered features directly on device so that it's private to you. To share more about how we are making computing safer with Google, let me turn it over to Jen.
So we were wondering if this was going to be a 1 or a 2-hour keynote. I'm guessing it's going to be a 2-hour
Yeah,
keynote.
we're at 10:53 already.
Every day, people turn to our products for help in moments big and small. Core to making this possible is protecting your private information every step of the way. Even as technology grows increasingly complex,
One of the first female
we keep
engineers
more
at Google.
people
She's
safe online
currently
than anyone
Senior
else
Vice
in the
President
world,
for Google Core
with
Systems
products that
and
are secure by
Experiences.
default, private by design,
Fitzpatrick.
and put you in control.
Been at Google for 23 years.
Today, I'm proud to share with you our latest advancements
started there when
that
she was
make
10.
every day safer.
Came out of Stanford in '99 and went straight to
Widespread
Google.
cyber attacks like Colonial Pipeline and the recent Log4j vulnerability threaten to put people's private information at risk.
It's one of four of
Disrupt critical
one of the
services like
first
energy
interns
grids
at
and
Google. One of
telecommunications
four.
networks, and weaken global democracies.
One of the first 30
To prevent
employees.
future attacks, we're raising the bar for the entire industry
reported to Marissa
by
Meyer,
pioneering
who was her
advanced
mentor.
cybersecurity technology, alerting others to security risks within their own systems, and open sourcing solutions that make the whole internet safer. Specialized teams like Threat Analysis
She has
Group and
the
Project
US
Zero
patent
counter
for
serious
the
threat
graphical
actors
user
and
interface of
detect
the Google
vulnerabilities across
homepage.
the internet. Last year, our Threat Analysis Group detected that over 40,000 users were being targeted by government-backed actors. We automatically alerted everyone and increased protections and blocked attacks.
Still has trouble parting her hair, though.
Most
apparently.
recently, with
Just
the war
shows
in
you,
Ukraine,
you know?
we observed a surge of distributed denial of
genius.
service attacks against websites providing critical information, like current news and evacuation resources. We expanded our free DDoS defense program, Project Shield, to defend more than 180
Project
Ukrainian
Shield is
websites,
a really good thing.
including those that belong
Yes.
to the Ukrainian government, news, and human rights groups. And because much of the world's technology infrastructure is dangerously outdated, we're now investing $10 billion to modernize vulnerable systems and infrastructures, secure the software supply chain, and train 100,000 Americans in digital skills, including data privacy and cybersecurity, through the Google Career Certificate Program. In addition to keeping companies and organizations safe around the world, we build advanced security into everything we make to protect individual users. In the last few years, phishing scams have risen substantially, and they're responsible for 90% of recent cyber attacks. Our built-in protections intercept these attempts before they ever reach you. For example, every day, Gmail and Messages by Google block more than 15 billion spam and phishing messages. Google Play now scans 125 billion installed apps for malware, making the entire app ecosystem safer. And our safe browsing technology, built into Chrome and other major browsers, now protects 5 billion devices from risky sites. Detecting and blocking threats at this scale every day makes our AI-powered protection
during the
second to
election in
none,
2016
and also enables our teams to identify new areas to safeguard.
because there were
Which is why we're now
significant state
scaling our
actor
proven phishing
DDoS
protections to
attacks.
Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Soon, if you're working in a shared doc that contains a suspicious link, we'll automatically alert you and take you back to safety.
Yeah, they rolled out free cyber attack shield for elections in 2018.
No matter where they occur,
I seem to remember that. Yeah.
all phishing attempts share a single
2018,
goal,
okay.
to compromise your account, often using it as a tool to spread the attack to your network. Protecting your account starts with building the most advanced authentication technologies everywhere that you sign in. Cybersecurity experts say the single most important way to protect your account and help prevent cyber attacks is to use multi-factor authentication. However, it sometimes gets a bad rap for creating extra friction. That's why we've made our two-step verification as easy as it gets. Whether you're on Android or iOS, just one tap on your phone and you're in. No 6-digit codes.
I'm always nervous it's not going to come up.
Yeah, I know, me
years
too.
Ago, we were the first consumer technology company to offer two-step
Yeah.
verification.
Yeah, I like it.
And we're now the first to turn it on by default.
Yeah, that was
Last year alone,
controversial
we enrolled
when
an
they announced they
additional
were gonna do that.
150 million accounts in two-step verification.
because no one uses it. And so you just kind of have to force them.
And we're optimizing the sign-in flow and account recovery experience so that we can turn on this additional layer of protection for everyone. To extend the world-class security of your Google account to all your online accounts, we built Sign-In with Google. Every day, 400 million people use it for secure one-click access to everything from travel sites to grocery apps. Building an authentication system that's secure and easy to use is a massive
How
challenge.
about private?
I mean, how many times have we all had to click forgot password? Thanks to years of engineering investment in our password manager, two-step verification,
Wonder if
security
they'll mention the
keys,
FIDO2
and most
initiative.
recently, passkeys.
Yeah,
There it
this
is,
would be about the
passkeys.
We've
time.
laid the path
That's
for
it.
a future
Passkeys
without
is
passwords.
the name of this new thing. Steve talked quite a bit about it yesterday on Security Now. He's a little less optimistic
And we're now
about
leading an industry-wide effort to enable passwordless sign-in across every device, website, and application on any platform. I'm really proud of the work we've done to make secure authentication accessible for everyone, everywhere. As we all do more and more of our shopping online, keeping your payment information safe and secure is critically important. Today, I'm excited to announce the launch of virtual cards on Chrome and Android.
it. Oh boy.
Now, when you use autofill to complete your payment details at checkout, we'll replace your card number with a distinct virtual number, reducing the risk of fraud and identity theft. To give more people access to a safer way to pay online, we've worked closely with Visa, American Express, Capital One, and MasterCard to roll out virtual cards starting this summer.
Chrome and Android only. Apple Pay does something similar. It's a European
Constantly
standard.
monitoring the security of your Google account to give you peace of mind. We're now adding a safety status on your profile picture. So if anything needs your attention, we'll let you know and then guide you through simple steps to ensure your account is secure. We're relentless about protecting your personal information with the most advanced security in the world. Because if it's not secure, it's not private. But protecting your privacy requires us to be equally rigorous in building products that are private by design. And I'm excited to tell you about our latest advancements in this area. Today, computing's no longer happening just on a computer or on a phone, but across your home, in your car, on your wrist, and in the cloud. Unlocking personalized, helpful experiences while protecting user privacy in this increasingly complex environment presents new technical challenges. Building on deep research and advances in AI, hardware, and cloud computing, we've engineered a new technical approach we call protected computing. At its core, protected computing is a growing toolkit of technologies that transforms how, when, and where data is processed to technically ensure the privacy and safety of your data. Our approach focuses on 3 areas. First, we minimize your data footprint. Our focus here is on shrinking the amount of personally identifiable data altogether, collecting less and deleting more, using techniques like edge processing and ephemerality. If the data doesn't exist, it can't be hacked. Second, we de-identify the data, from blurring and randomizing identifiable signals to adding statistical noise. We use a range of anonymization techniques to strip your identity from your data, so it's no longer linked to you.
This has historically been difficult and not successful.
And third, we restrict
I could see
access
Google making
through
it work.
technologies like end-to-end encryption and secure enclaves. This is about making it technically impossible for anyone, including Google, to access your sensitive data. This toolkit of diverse techniques enables us to deploy the safest, smartest solution possible, and often stack multiple techniques to provide layered protections. Today, protected computing enables Android to suggest the next phrase in your text while keeping your conversation completely private. It helps Pixel know when to keep your screen awake while continuously deleting ambient signals as they're processed. And it allows Chrome to alert you to compromised passwords without knowing a single one. Later today, you'll hear more about how protected computing is enabling new ambient experiences across your Android and smart home devices while keeping your information private. In addition to providing helpful experiences, protected computing is essential to unlocking the potential of data to benefit society more broadly in a way that preserves everyone's privacy. For example, our environmental insights team is exploring how, with protected computing, we can provide local governments with de-identified and aggregated location and movement data within their cities to help reduce their carbon footprint. Protected computing represents our deep commitment to innovating new technical solutions that make technology more helpful, safe, and private everywhere that computing happens. No one else is deploying such a multifaceted approach at our scale, and I'm excited to see all the ways our teams will apply protected computing.
No one else, not even
to ensure
Apple,
that
which
every
is the
day
subtext
you're
of that.
safer with Google.
They really, I think that's a tough thing for them to prove, but I don't know if people really believe
At
that.
the end of the day, we believe that privacy is personal. That's why we continue to build powerful controls that let you choose what's
The more
right
that
for
happens
you.
on your device, the better. But
To
people
share more
understand
about the
that.
newest ways we're putting you in control of your data,
Well, I
let
think
me
there's-
pass it to Danielle.
I mean, they know Google's an advertising company first and foremost. That's their revenue. I just don't know if people believe that Google is all in on their privacy. Maybe they, I mean,
Because of people like you, Leo, and all you media people.
We feel privileged that billions of people trust products like Search, Chrome, Maps, and Android to help them every day. And we work hard to earn that trust by providing tools that put you in control of your privacy and that help you control your online experience. As Jen mentioned, protecting your privacy is central to making every day safer with Google. An important way that we do this is by helping you take more control over your data, including the data used to show you ads. We never sell your personal information to anyone or use the content you store in apps like Gmail, Google Photos, or Drive for advertising purposes. We also
and I believe that's
never
true, but
use
I don't know if
sensitive
people
information
in
like
general
health,
think that.
race, religion, or sexual
Well,
orientation.
this notion of selling
for
data
personalized
versus
ads.
using data.
Period.
Oh, that's a good point. We don't give it to a
We
third
believe
party,
that the
but we
best ads
use
are
it.
helpful, relevant, and safe. So later this year, we'll launch
But it's-
My Ad Center to give you even more control over the ads you see across YouTube.
I mean, this is what they're fighting,
Search,
Gets them
obviously,
and
this
more
Discovery.
data, which would be a good thing
We're
for
ex-
them and us.
Right. But yeah, you can see the benefit of them having the data.
Oh,
but,
God, yeah.
But I also think people are very
We're
skittish
expanding
about
on our
giving Google.
existing ads privacy settings. So now through My Ad Center, you can directly control the data used to personalize your ads. For the first time, you can choose to see more ads from the categories or brands you like. For example, I'm interested
Just
in
give us some more
hybrid
data.
vehicles.
This is
So
how you
I
control your
Basketball
ads.
ads? How many ads are there for basketball?
You can
Oh,
also
lots.
opt to see fewer ads from categories or brands you're not interested in. You'll be
you like
able
a round ball
to
or a
access
round
My
ball?
Ad Center through your Google account or directly from the ad. But it's not just about managing
This is the
your
ad
data.
choices thing we see
We
all the
also
time
know
now.
people
just
want to have
a
more
little more
control
elaborate.
over their
Which is
online
mainly because
presence
it's a pain. It's
to
like
feel
my
safer.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Who's going to go to the
So
trouble?
I have a question for you all.
Yeah, right.
How many of you have searched for your name on Google?
Everybody. Everybody. right?
Okay. I do the occasional search for myself, and judging by the reaction, I can tell I'm not alone in checking to see what others may
Who
find about
doesn't?
me online.
I think it's responsible
At
to
Google,
do.
Yeah.
while we strongly believe in open access to information,
We prefer you not
we
search
also
for your
have a
own name.
deep commitment to protecting people online. This is why we have policies for removing certain types of personally identifiable information
Oh, this
from
is where you
search
can take
results
down
that we
your-
know people
Yeah,
may
they announced
prefer
this
to keep
prior to
private,
the event.
such as their bank account or credit card numbers that could be used for financial fraud. Now we're building on this by introducing a new tool to accompany updated removal policies that allows you to take even more control of your online presence.
Do you think this is their kind of attempt to preempt any right to be forgotten in the U.S. and other markets?
No, because this is more about doxing stuff
if you
than
find
about
search
substantive
results
news
that
reports
contain
about
your
you.
contact details, such as your phone number, home address,
Yeah, they've said
or
very
email
clearly if
address
it's a
that you
news
want taken
report, we're
down,
not going to.
you can easily request their removal from Google search.
And again, you're only removing it from Google search.
Right, not the original
you can't
source.
remove it from the internet, right?
Yeah.
Of course, removing this information from Google search doesn't remove it from the web.
Jeff just
but
said
this is an important step in helping to protect
Jeff on
people
stage,
online.
obviously.
This feature will be available in the coming months in the Google app, and you will also be able to access it by clicking the 3 dots next to individual Google search results. Another
By the way,
part
who knows
of being
there's a
able-
Google app?
Of being safer online is having access to reliable
iPhone users.
Google Search
the
is
only
built
way
from
you
the
can get
ground
Google
up
Search
to
on your
deliver
iPhone.
high-quality information.
Yeah,
This has set Google apart from day one, and it's something we relentlessly invest in. And we also give you tools to evaluate the reliability of the information you come across. One of the tools we launched last year, called About This Result, has now been used more than 1.6 billion times. This tool is available on individual search results, helping you see important context about a website before you even visit. But we want to ensure you feel in control of the information you're consuming, wherever
Does anybody
you are
know
online.
this?
So we're making this helpful context more accessible as you explore the web beyond search. So imagine you're researching conservation efforts, and you find yourself on an unfamiliar website of a rainforest protection organization. Before you decide to donate, you'd like to understand if it's reliable. And with just a tap, the Google app will soon surface relevant context about the website, including the site description, what they say
When
about
did these
themselves,
3 dots appear?
and what others say about them, helping you
This is
explore
cool.
with confidence.
I'm looking at this. It's great.
You'll be able to see context like this on any website.
About this
coming
result.
soon to the Google app on both iOS and
Yeah, it's
Android.
been there. I don't think that anybody goes to those extra steps.
Right.
It's like the source information on Facebook people don't click on.
As we've talked about today, at Google, we keep more people safe online than anyone else in the world, with products that are secure by default, private by design, and that put you in control. Everything we make is designed with safety at the core, including the platforms with billions of users like Search and Android. And speaking of Android, the team has been building cool experiences across the many devices in your life. And up next, Samir will be here to tell you more about it. But first, let's say hello to our watch party in London.
This is going to be brief too, I imagine. Let's
cut
go.
to them. They'll be calm.
Yay.
Oh no, they're rooting, cheering from the beginning.
They got foam fingers. They got Google flags. That's it.
That was it.
And okay.
Now,
Good
let's
to know
take a look
that's
at
happening.
Android.
Okay, where's the beer?
Is this where we talk about Android 13? I guess it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Samir Samat.
Potentially, eventually, the watch, the phone.
It's
yeah.
great to be back at
Samir
Shoreline for Google I/O.
Vice President of Product Management at Google.
Over the years, Android
Came
has
to Google
grown
from
into the
Jawbone.
most popular OS in the world, delivering access, connectivity, and information to people everywhere on their smartphones. Last year alone, consumers activated 1 billion new Android phones. And as Prabhakar showed us earlier, with advances in machine learning, these supercomputers in our pocket can help us get more done than ever before. While the phone is still the most popular form of computing, people are increasingly adding all kinds of connected technologies to their lives.
Yeah, there's a few empty
like
seats there.
TVs, cars,
in the back,
watches,
all the
and
where the
more.
press was is gone.
And even if those devices they come from different manufacturers, people expect everything to work together without the hassle. It's got to be simple.
If you're just joining us, they have
Android
not yet
has
talked about
always
products, but
been
I
about
suspect
people choosing the technology
that's what's about to
that works
happen.
best for them.
I think
With
Android
Samir
13
In a
Shah.
multi-device world,
segues into
we
product,
believe
yeah.
this openness is
guess.
even more essential for creating the best consumer experience. So let's talk about what's new in Android 13 to bring all the benefits of this multi-device future to everyone. There are 3 big themes we're focused on.
Have you installed it yet, Jason?
First, enabling you
I
to
have it
do
running on my
more
Pixel.
with your phone at the center.
I did the go
Second,
from 12 beta to
extending
13 beta.
beyond the
It was
phone
not supposed to wipe my
all
phone,
the
but it
forms
ended
of
up wiping it
computing
anyway.
people love.
It's all
Like
right.
watches,
It gave me a
tablets,
reason to
and more.
fresh start. And so far, I really like it.
And
There's
third,
some things I really like about
making
13.
all your devices work better together to solve problems and help you throughout
This is
your
the
day.
response that Google has
Let's
to, of
start
course,
by
Apple's
talking
continuity,
about
which
phones.
really encourages
Android
people to stay in the
13
Apple
builds on our
ecosystem.
Material U design language, so your phone has
Samsung and
even more
Microsoft
ways
have a kind
to
of
adapt
partnership
to
with
your
your phone.
style. All your app icons can now incorporate
It makes
your
sense for
color
all
theme.
Android to do that.
And there's a new media control that tailors its look to the music you're listening to.
Yeah, the new
I
music
love how
player
the
on
progress
13.
bar grooves to the beat.
The changes
It's
there are
super
really
cool.
nice.
You can even
Very
personalize
visual,
your
very
experience
graphical.
by setting a different language per app. So
Wow.
if you're multilingual, you
That's
can use your
cool.
social media app in
So
one
your
language
WhatsApp could be in
and
French.
your banking app in another.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And of course, Android 13 comes jam-packed with dozens of new security and privacy features. But security needs to go beyond your device. When you send a message from your phone to someone else's, you want to be sure it's private and secure. That's why we've worked with carriers and device makers all over the world to upgrade SMS text messaging to a new standard called RCS, which can enable important privacy protections like end-to-end encryption. This is a huge step forward for the mobile ecosystem, and we're really excited about the progress. In fact, Google's Messages app already has 500 million monthly active users with RCS, and growing fast.
Yeah. A lot more people in my contacts are showing up as a chat instead of an
We
SMS.
hope
So
every mobile operating
Says something.
system gets the message
Get it? Get it? Apple.
and upgrades to
Apple.
RCS.
Not going to happen.
If only.
So your messages are private, no matter what device you're using.
That's
Now,
an
our
uphill
phones are
battle.
essential parts.
What watch
of
is
the way
he
we
wearing? Is it a
communicate with
Moto
our
or is
friends,
it?
Good question.
family,
Yeah.
and loved ones.
his close-up
In fact,
is covered
these days,
with the lower
there's
third.
only two
I can't
things I don't
quite
leave my
get.
home without: my phone.
I think it's the
and
new Pixel
my
watch.
wallet.
It looks,
it'd be surprising.
looks
if
like
he
the
wasn't.
renders.
Question is,
Yeah.
Can my phone
It's
replace my wallet?
It's round.
Well, today we're excited to introduce
Here we go.
the new Google Wallet.
Oh.
So we're back to Google Wallet, by the way. So go ahead and follow the breadcrumb trail. It was
It's a
Google Wallet at
digital
one
wallet
point,
for
then it became
Android
Google Pay,
that
and now
gives
it's
you
back to
fast,
Google Wallet.
secure access to your everyday essentials.
Sometimes
Google
Google.
Wallet securely stores your payment cards, so you can tap to pay anywhere Google Pay is accepted. But Wallet is for so much more than payments. It's a way to unlock more of the world around you. You can show your
It just
student
cracks
ID
me
on
up.
campus, board a flight, or start your car. You can even use it as your park pass to explore Walt Disney World. Items that contain highly personal information, like your vaccine card, are stored on your device and not shared with anyone, not even Google. Now, we know it's hard to part with your physical wallet if it doesn't have your most essential item, your ID. So we're working with states here in the US
Oh, interesting.
and
Apple's
governments
already done
around
this
the
with,
world to bring digital
a number of
IDs to
states.
Wallet later this year.
We're waiting for this. I keep my
Starting
driver's
with
license,
driver's
in the
licenses.
back of my clear case on my
You
Pixel.
can share
That's
the
what I do.
information in your ID without
this would
ever having
help.
to give your phone to another person. Simply tap via NFC or use a QR code. Google Wallet will be rolling out to Android and Wear OS devices around the world in the coming weeks.
You won't notice a thing.
No.
It's just a name change.
Now, Helping you securely communicate with your friends and family and storing your digital identity is really useful.
In 2 years, it'll be back to Google Pay.
Even more essential in difficult moments in life, like emergencies or natural disasters. 2 years ago, we developed the first algorithms on a phone to detect when you're in a car crash and automatically call for help. Let's take a look.
I've got no recollection of the accident.
So this is
whatsoever.
a complete copy of the Apple Watch ads that aired
upside
during
down and
the
diesel fuel dripping
NFL playoffs and Super Bowl.
And the most powerful voice I had, I screamed out, "Help!" which I knew was pointless.
Except
I heard help is on the way.
My phone responded.
The phone detected the accident and called
I'm just
911.
lying here looking at the moon.
There was so much joy when I heard somebody say, "We found him, we've got him."
Wow. This is
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
at the moment.
but you've seen the Apple Watch ads, so they're exactly the same, right?
The car crash.
Except that they featured the 911 calls.
Saved my life.
So this is good. I mean, it's a good thing.
Stories like this have inspired us to do more, to make technology helpful when you need it the most. Later this year, we'll start bringing emergency SOS to Wear, so you can instantly contact a trusted friend or family member, or call emergency services right from your watch. We're also expanding Android's earthquake alerting system to many of the remaining high-risk regions in the world. It uses accelerometer data from phones
I've actually
to determine
seen
if an
people
earthquake is happening
say that they
and
knew
warn
seconds,
others in the surrounding
10 or more
area,
seconds before the
often
earthquake.
before the shaking reaches them.
That
Pretty-
they were going to
pretty
get
amazing.
one. It is pretty amazing.
Take cover,
Yeah.
or pull your car over. These extra
Enough time to
seconds
get in
of
a door
warning
jam.
can save
We don't do
lives.
that anymore, Jeff. We have to get under tables now. That's old. That's back when you lived here. We've been told do not get in the door jam
our phones
anymore.
can help us do
Why?
more.
I don't have
know.
a table.
Whether it's helping you securely communicate
Yeah,
with
that's an
friends,
IKEA table I made. It's not very
safeguarding
safe.
your digital identity,
Yeah. Depends
or
on the
getting you
table,
help
really.
in critical moments. Your phone
Really,
is your
if there's an
most
earthquake, you're
essential
screwed. It doesn't
digital
matter where you
companion.
go.
And
Yeah.
what you can do with Android gets even more exciting when we go beyond the phone. To tell you more, here's Tristan.
Now I'm
Beyond
looking
the
around my
phone
room
would not
going,
be
where
the
do I
phone.
go?
Tristan up still.
Along with the phone, we're working hard
Wonderful
to ensure
name.
Android
Of course he's a
delivers
Brit.
fantastic experience on all the devices that are most important to you,
maybe
especially your
Australian.
personal devices like watches and
VP
tablets.
Engineering at Android.
At I.O. last
Over
year,
Android
we announced some
Experience.
huge updates
He's also
to
a
Wear
Google
OS,
Scholar.
including launching our joint
Oh
platform.
no, he's on
OS.
Google Scholar. He's
And
not a
what
Google
a year it has been. There are now
He's
over
an Aussie,
3
not a
times as
Brit.
many Wear OS
Wearables.
devices this year as there were last year. And this is just the start. Keep an eye out for new watches from Samsung, Fossil, Montblanc, and more starting this summer.
Google.
And you?
What?
The momentum is carried
What?
on to our developer community. We're
and
launching
more.
great app experiences on Wear OS
What?
and making the watch
don't think
even
there's a
better for our
lot.
users.
The watch.
Favorites like Spotify, Adidas Running, Line, and Kakao Talk have all recently come to the platform, with many more coming soon.
CDC says do
With
not
the
stand in a
growing
doorway. You
ecosystem
are
of
safer under
partners,
a table.
developers, and apps, Wear OS is bringing
In
the
modern
best
houses,
of
doorways
Android
are no
to your
stronger
list.
than any other part of the house.
And this year,
I don't have to worry
There's
because I'm in
another
New Jersey where this
bigger
doesn't happen to
screen
us.
the consumers are super excited about.
California is not meant to be lived in.
Tablets.
Just watch.
Tablets.
We are now approaching 270 million active users on large screen devices.
Well, okay.
Android pioneered multiple sizes and form
do they
factors
consider
for larger
foldables
screens.
large
And we
That's a
have
good
many
question.
fantastic devices hitting the market, like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, Lenovo Tab P12 Pro, and others from partners like Oppo and Xiaomi that are all being built on the latest Android releases. Incredibly, we can now get tablet-like experiences that can fit in your pocket, with foldables
Oh, there you
delivering
go.
all of the benefits of a large screen device
tablet-like?
with the portability of a phone. And Android is the only way to experience it all. But
That's
there
a good
is so
one.
much
That's
more to
good.
do.
For all
so
10
this
of you
year,
who want it.
we've been working hard to make Android tablets amazing. But rather than just telling you about all these
It's really
updates,
up to the third party.
why don't I show you?
Developers, if you ask me.
Yeah, continues to be.
From the moment you power on the device, you can see the Android experience has been refined for the larger screen. One thing I absolutely love are the changes to the notification shade. It's been expanded to let you see more at a glance and have control right at your fingertips.
I want my Nexus 7.
There's also a new app taskbar that runs along the bottom. You can see, if I go ahead and fire up Google Photos, the taskbar is still there, and it gives me easy access to all my apps
Very
when
Chrome
I need them.
OS-like.
Yeah.
This bigger screen also makes multitasking super easy. Say I want to share a picture from my latest vacation with a friend. I can pick up the conversation.
Where is
Hopefully.
it? Hello?
Come on.
Where?
Pick
Come
it
on.
up.
Come on, pick it up. Put
There
it
we
there.
go.
That's
Choose a
how,
photo.
just how easy it is.
Even
I
edit
call
it.
my friend.
It was
Hi,
pretty warm
friend.
that day, as I remember it.
This is not a great demo.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
drag it straight in.
Wow.
I love using these pairs of apps to help me get things fun. In fact, if
Get
you
things
swipe up to
fun?
overview, you can see
Poor guy.
I'm already busy planning my next vacation.
He's stuck with this demo.
He can't
Now,
wait for the vacation.
These OS changes
please.
don't mean much if the app
Whose
experiences
tablet
for
is that?
tablets
I don't
aren't
recognize
also
it.
great.
Yeah.
So starting today, we'll be updating more than 20 Google
Must be
apps to
Samsung.
look
It's got a
amazing on large screens and take
Oh,
full
okay. So
advantage
Google's
of the
gonna
extra
do-
functionality.
as they
least
should.
Google's doing
With
it.
a lot more to
You
come.
might ask why they hadn't done
Let's
that
take a
earlier.
look at some of these great new
Yeah.
experiences. The tablet version of YouTube Music puts more of the music you love front and
What's
center.
the tablet market like these
We've
days?
optimized Google Maps to
Like
include
Samsung
rich
has,
information at
sells a lot
glance
of them.
to help you navigate the world around
I've
you.
had a Note 8 on
And the
order
updated
since they
Messages app
announced it.
uses a new multi-column view, so
still
you can easily manage
back-ordered.
all your texts and quickly jump between conversations.
Still back-ordered.
I think
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah.
Third-party apps look great on Android tablets
haven't gotten
too.
it yet, let's put it
You'll
that
see
way.
revamped experiences coming to your favorite apps like TikTok, Zoom, Facebook, and more. And they look awesome. To help you find these new tablet apps, we're working to improve
This is the problem, of
discovery
course,
on
is
Google
that there's
Play,
this other
along
guy
with introducing a new UI that
making a
makes the most
tablet
of the larger
that
screen.
really completely dominates something
As you can
70 or
see,
80%
we're
of the
building
market.
great experiences for
Goes to the
phones,
iPad.
watches, tablets, and everything in between. The next step is getting all these devices to play nice with each other. So here's Lisa to tell you more about what we're doing to
We're
make
now
everything work
an hour and a half
better
in.
together.
If you're tuning in for Windows Weekly, we will do that immediately after this. I figure another half hour.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
The whole point of adding more devices to your life is to make it easier, richer, more convenient.
Devices.
But that only
Maybe
happens
this is
if everything works
product.
seamlessly.
Oh, stop dreaming.
This is the
So
continuity.
let me
Oh,
show
no,
you
this is
how Android
seamless.
brings
Yeah.
your
Integration
devices
between,
together
yeah.
to be more helpful. First, I should be able to enjoy my media on whatever surface makes sense in the moment. For example, if I'm watching a show on my tablet and want to move it to the TV so my husband can see it too. Or if I'm listening to music on headphones during a run and want to continue listening on my Bose speaker when I get home. Casting makes that really easy, so it should be everywhere, which is why we're working to extend casting capabilities to new partners and products.
Another longtime
such as
Googler,
Chromebooks
14 years
or even your car.
at Google. She's
And I want my messages to
currently
move
group
across my
product
devices too. Like when I'm
for
at my
settings
desk
and
working,
personalization
my
of Pixel
conversation
devices.
should be right there on the laptop screen I'm already using.
Came to Google
This
from
fall,
Microsoft.
we're extending Phone Hub so you can directly access all your phone's messaging apps on your Chromebook. Phone Hub gives you the exact app you're familiar with because it's streaming from your phone. No need to install a desktop
This is
client
similar to the Your
or keep
Phone
on running in a
experience
tab
on,
that gets
Windows.
lost on your browser. So you can jump between chats, send and reply to messages, even add reactions to photos from your friends. And here's one of my favorite new features. Copy something on your phone and paste it on your tablet. It could be a URL, an address, or even a picture or screenshot. It's so simple and useful.
This is one of the nicest features of Apple's continuity. The problem is the Android and Windows space is so
work. Just
fragmented.
use whatever
It's
surface
hard to do.
is most convenient for what you want to do.
Google's doing more
my biggest
about
pet
making
peeve
that particular
is setting
feature
up
set
all these
a
devices in the
core
first
piece
place.
of Android, though.
We
So,
developed
and, but we're still stuck in
take
the,
care of that chore for you
waiting for devices
without
to get on
having
the
to
latest
manage
version in order to take advantage of
or
it.
remember where the pairing button might
No, that's
be
always the issue.
A lot of
We're continuing to
copycat stuff
expand
for Apple
fast
here.
pair. So your phone, your laptop, and your TV.
I mean, it makes sense. Both
all
companies,
pair
you know, kind
easily and
of pollinate each other.
instantaneously with your headphones
Totally.
and smart devices.
And they don't go after each other on
And we
patent
want
stuff
to
anymore, right?
extend
Because
this
it's just all
easy
so obvious.
connectivity
Yeah.
to all the devices in your
Yeah, I mean,
home.
that was a big deal, the Apple's suing
That's
Google.
where
but,
Matter comes in.
Once
It's
Steve
an
Jobs
open
died, I
industry
think
standard
so did
launching this
so did the
fall.
lawsuits.
Matter
is
connects
interesting.
Our Google
That-
Nest hardware,
This
along
is-
with top brands and hundreds of supported products.
The
like light
alliance
bulbs,
with
door
Zigbee
locks,
and other
smart
IoT
plugs,
manufacturers.
And a lot more. It's a big list.
Stacy talks
You'll
about
be
this a
able
lot
to
on
quickly connect
This Week
all
in
those
Google.
Matter-enabled devices in
Coming up
seconds
soon,
to your
this
home
afternoon.
network, Google
Yes.
Home, and your favorite apps using fast pair. There are so many new opportunities in this multi-device world, from helping you do more with your phone at the center.
Excuse me.
To
I do
extending
not think we
computing
are going to
beyond the
see
phone
any hardware
I don't think
announcements.
and making sure all your
either.
devices work better together.
I'm hopeful.
Thank you so much to our
That's just the
millions
kind
of
of guy you are,
developers
Jason.
and billions of users
Yep.
for making Android an incredible platform. We're excited to keep pushing it forward with you. So keep an
This is
eye
the
out for
point
the Android 13 beta
Where I want to get to
today.
the snacks again.
We've got a
Remember, it is a developer conference, so, these are the messages aimed at developers.
We've got
But
a bunch
Google
of
has
great
announced other
partners
products
and devices
at Google I/O in the
so
past.
check it out and
I mean, the
send
A
your
series
feedback.
has
Now,
since the
before I
beginning,
go, we've been
aside from the
talking a
last
lot
recent
about fast
years,
pair. So
been
let's check
announced at
in
Google.
with
Yeah.
another fast pair, Lando and Daniel.
This is
We
Google's
sent a few devices to our
biggest-
friends at McLaren, the newest members of the Android family.
McLaren is the
So let's
F1
see what fun they got
racing
into,
team
and then
that
we'll get
keeps
some
crashing
exciting
their Google
updates
car.
from the Google
their-
hardware team.
What do we got here? Some toys from our new sponsor.
It's
Do
beautiful.
you know you can play a game between any Android devices?
It's
You wanna
Lando
play a game?
Norris and
All
Daniel
right.
Ricciardo,
Rocket League. Go on to Rocket League.
famous F1 drivers.
Let me show
from
you how it's
McLaren.
done.
This
How do you
costs a
accelerate?
lot of money.
You're not made
let
for
me
this,
tell you.
mate. Oh. Oh,
They-
God! Next goal wins. Oh, no. Oh, no! No! All right, cast it to the TV. All right, let's do it. Oh, my God. Yeah, I know. I'm new to the YouTube game. Do you think bandanas suit you? I did like that one. You see, the more you post, the less people like you. Yeah.
Lando did not
That's why I
finish.
stopped
He
posting.
crashed his car in last
Yeah.
race.
All right, who would you like to message?
Daniel did not finish in Saudi Arabia.
It's perfect. Oh,
It's kind of sad to see those
what's Mr. Zach Brown doing?
Google colors on the
Zach, you
tires
there, mate?
wrecked
Zach.
against the wall.
Oh, this is boring.
Yeah. You have to be an F1 fan to really.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This is totally lost on me.
They spent a lot of money.
Although
on
they
it.
seem like really nice.
Oh, yeah. They're nice lads.
You just heard about the work we're doing across Google and Android to make a multi-device world simpler, so all your devices work better together. Let's talk next about Google's own hardware.
There you go.
We're building on this multi-device world to create a seamless, cohesive Pixel portfolio that pulls together all the tech
Pixel
breakthroughs you've seen today
portfolio.
across Google.
Okay, I'm sitting up.
We'll start with Pixel phones, where we take all the helpfulness and intelligence of Google and create an experience that adapts to you.
Pixel 6, I think, the best Pixel in a long time.
Last fall, we debuted Google
Yeah,
Pixel 6
very good.
and Pixel 6 Pro.
I wish I'd gotten the 6, not the Pro.
Reimagining of Pixel inside and out.
Oh, you wanted those cameras.
It's our first
didn't you?
phone powered by Google
Yeah.
Tensor.
I don't like
a
this
mobile
curved
computing
screen.
platform
Yeah.
we developed around
Yeah,
Google's
I
latest
agree.
AI
You might like the
and
6A.
chip.
The leaks look good.
Tensor gives us
Yeah.
a major advantage in mobile AI, and it's a hardware foundation that we'll be building on for years to come. With leading-edge hardware, software, and AI, Pixel 6 introduced some amazing new phone capabilities to help you take professional quality photos and communicate with people in another language, all while keeping your personal information private with the Google Tensor Security Core. Pixel 6 is a huge step forward for the Pixel portfolio, and it's been great to see the response from Pixel users. It's the fastest selling Pixel ever, despite all the supply constraints in the industry.
But good.
Pixel 6 has already sold more than Pixel 4 and 5 combined.
Which isn't saying all that much.
No, because the 3 was the last good one.
Yeah.
So let's keep that momentum going. Today, I'm excited for Sonia to show you the new Pixel 6a.
Pixel 6a, here we go. This had to happen. I mean, the detailed leak really, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Like all our A-series phones, Pixel 6a delivers the helpful, personal Pixel experience for the unbeatable price of $449. That's right.
Oh. That's the same as last year, yes?
We truly believe
5A.
it's the best smartphone we've ever offered for this price. And let me tell you why.
Question.
Pixel 6a shares the same iconic
And the
design
5A
that
right
we
now is
introduced on
listed at
Pixel 6,
$449 on the site.
with a unique
So
two-tone look
probably-
and slim bezels surrounding
See,
our
Jeff,
perfectly
this looks
pocketable
nice. Yeah?
6.1-inch display.
The camera
And you'll
bump is
notice
now
the camera bar,
absorbed
which
into
houses
the...
our dual rear camera system
No,
with a
it's still-
12-megapixel main and ultra-wide lens.
How big
And
is the
all
6
of that
Pro?
is encased in our recycled aluminum frame.
6.7,
Of
I
course,
think.
the
This is
real
6.1.
magic
I
of
think
you're
Pixel
right.
6a is what you're able to do with it. In years past, the A-series really took advantage of Google's
6.7,
strength in AI to get the most out of affordable hardware.
Yeah,
So
that
we
camera
could
bump is
deliver our
definitely a lot
core Pixel
shallower.
features
Yes.
for a low price.
Still there, but not as big.
And that was great.
Yeah.
The combination of Google Smarts and a mid-range processor produced amazing smartphones that our users love.
But now
However,
we've got our premium
as
Tensor
Brian
chip.
mentioned, we now have our own Google Tensor
there you go.
SoC. So for the first time, we've developed a
Never
common
did find out
hardware system
if Samsung's
that we
making that
scaled
chip, did
across
we?
the
Or
Pixel portfolio. From
I
our
mean,
flagship
I don't
doesn't
know
really
if Google
matter. It's a
to our
Google
came out and
design.
said it, but yeah, we pretty much
So what
know
does that mean?
that's
Right.
the case.
It means that Pixel 6a includes the same fast 5G connectivity as Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. It uses the exact same security architecture with Titan M2 for industry-leading protection that makes the phone more resilient to attacks. And most importantly, Pixel 6a uses the same premium Google Tensor SoC as our Pixel 6 Pro.
Same speed?
We need to be. So
That's right. That is a big deal for a phone at this price. With Google Tensor as the brain inside Pixel 6a,
One of
our
the advantages of
state-of-the-art
making your own
machine
chip,
learning
you can
models
do that.
run nearly 5
exactly.
times faster than Pixel 5a. So we can provide better performance and richer AI-driven experiences for the same low price. Pixel 6a gives you the same great Android experience as our Pixel 6 Pro, as well as Pixel-exclusive features across photography, speech, security, and more. Let's start with photography. The camera system has real tone built in, so your photos are beautifully and accurately reflect your own skin tone. It also has night sight, so you can take incredible low-light photos. And yes, Pixel 6a includes Magic Eraser in Google Photos to remove those
God, another feature I just
distractions
never
from your
use.
otherwise perfect pictures.
It's a cool feature.
Now,
and
there
it
might
works
be other
fairly
people
well.
on the beach,
Yeah.
but that
Totally,
doesn't
it's
mean you
neat.
want them
It's
in your
just-
beautiful photos. With just a tap, you can make them disappear like magic.
Like, I don't care. That umbrella didn't offend me.
Yeah, exactly. What did the
watch
umbrella do?
We've
They should have put
enhanced
some,
Magic
you know,
Eraser.
ugly people
So you
in the
can
background.
also change the color of distracting objects in
Wait
your
a
photo.
minute.
Someone's smoking
I can
a
change
cigarette.
the color?
Tap the object's colors and shading.
Oh,
blend in
that's
naturally.
interesting. That's kind of interesting.
Deep fake! Deep fake! I'll never know what color the cooler is.
What's
So
real
the focus is on
anymore?
the subject, where it should be. Now, let's talk about speech. Tensor's strength in machine learning enables amazing on-device speech features, like live caption, recorder, and live translate. It's like having a personal interpreter and translator wherever you go. It even works in airplane mode, and protected computing ensures your speech data remains private with on-device processing. The other week, I was at my local bank, and I noticed someone struggling to communicate in English with the bank teller. It reminded me of my childhood interpreting for my grandmother and helping her navigate a vital
Again, if you're tuning in for Windows Weekly, we'll get to
the bank visitor pulled out their phone
the show, Paul and Mary
started
Jo,
talking to it in interpreter
as soon
mode.
as this event
And just like that, the language barrier was gone. The bank employee knew exactly how to help the person. What could have been a really frustrating moment became an empowering one. Now, breaking down language barriers shouldn't be just for the most expensive smartphones. It should be for everyone. And thanks to Tensor, we're able to bring Live Translate to Pixel 6a.
Anywhere Tensor goes, these features go. I mean, that's the power of what Google offers at this point.
And finally, everyone deserves
AI built
to have
into everything
peace
from now
of
on.
mind, knowing your phone is protected.
So the sacrifices
So we're
here are maybe
continuing to
the
deliver
frame
the
rate,
same
60
safety
hertz,
and security
and you lose
features
that third
as our premium
lens.
phones.
I mean, the camera,
Along with
the main
Titan
camera is a
M2
step
security
down
chip,
to the quality of the
under-display
camera on the
fingerprint
6.
sensor
Okay, so you get the wide and ultra
You'll
wide,
get
but
5 years of security.
they're not as good. 6 gigs
You'll
of RAM,
always have the latest protection.
128 gigs of storage. This is
Pixel
for
6a delivers the core
$449.
Google hardware and software experience.
Does it
powered
have
by
an
Google
earphone
Tensor
jack?
No,
across
come on, get
photography,
real.
Speech and security.
Nobody's ever going
And
to
you'll
do
get
that
all
again.
this without compromising on
You have to
an
get a
all-day
Moto
battery.
or something for that.
I mean, this is the
We're
first A series that
to make
doesn't have the
Pixel 6a
headphone jack, so
available.
that's no.
Well, that's
Okay.
why, it was
All
not
right.
a dumb question.
All right.
Yeah.
Pre-order starting July 21st. So that is because of supply chain. That is
It comes in 3 colors, so you can order one.
I think Stacy would
July
like this phone a
21st,
lot better than
or pick it up in store on the
6.
28th.
It's the right size for her floppy
Back
wrists.
over to you, Brian.
delivers on the 28th. This is definitely a supply chain constraint because
I wonder the materials on the back, if it's a plastic or something
Google
as
prides
opposed to
itself
glass.
on creating helpful technology for everyone. And with the
see a
A
hand.
series, the Google smartphone experience is available to more people. But for those who want the latest, greatest, and fastest, we're also working on our next generation Pixel 7 phones. Let me give you an early preview so you can see what's coming this fall.
they've not done this before. But I think they finally realized we can't keep these leaks
No.
secret.
Instead,
Here's a
what's that?
first look at the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro.
Oh.
Oh, we get a little preview.
You can see that we've
Definitely
extended
looks
the
very
aluminum
chromy.
finish to the entire camera bar
Cyborgy.
for the next evolution of the Pixel design language. The housing and camera bar are made from a single piece of 100% recycled aluminum. And the gorgeous Pixel 7 Pro, in its triple camera system, sets a completely new standard for photography, performance, and design.
It's kind of nice with
I
the
really
metal
love
like
the
that. These are
contrast of the different
renders, obviously,
materials
but-
and the simplicity of
Yeah,
the
this
design.
looks nice.
The polished aluminum looks beautiful with the glass in the back
Maybe
of
you
the
don't
phone.
need a case with polished aluminum.
On the inside, Pixel 7 and 7 Pro are designed to deliver the most helpful, most personal experience you can get in a smartphone. They'll use the next generation of our Google
There you
Tensor
go.
SoC, bringing even more AI-heavy breakthroughs and helpful personalized experiences across speech, photography,
heavy.
video, and security.
They don't give numbers
And of course,
to the Tensor.
both phones
so
will ship with Android 13.
It's going to be
and
the next
all the
one.
goodness that comes with
Yeah,
their
you just have
latest
to
mobile OS.
Trust them.
Trust us, it'll be faster.
better.
That's
It's
all we'll
better.
share about
Yeah.
Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro today. But
It's
check out
better
the
in
Google Store
some
online
way.
for more details and new experiences powered by Google Tensor in the coming months.
Just ask Ev Leaks and he'll tell you.
Now, great phones need
And then
great
we'll
earbuds,
tell you shortly
which
after.
is why our Pixel Buds
New
are made
earbuds.
to perfectly complement your Pixel phone.
Yeah, this is one of the rumors is Pixel Buds Pro.
And this summer, we're excited to expand the Pixel Buds family with a Pro tier offering.
There we go.
It's a powerful new set of earbuds called Pixel Buds Pro.
That's all we have to say. They're pro.
Let's take a look at what makes them so special.
What makes them special?
These earbuds have all the helpfulness and smarts you'd expect from Google, embedded in the best mobile audio hardware
Noise
we've ever
cancellation.
designed. And they're the first Pixel Buds with active noise cancellation.
Yeah, of course.
It's a bigger body by far.
Yeah, look at it.
Noise cancellation is a difficult technical challenge because it needs to be smart enough to account for noise across a wide frequency spectrum and powerful enough for super low latency. Pixel Buds Pro deliver one of the best noise cancellation performances in wireless earbuds today because they're designed around a new custom audio processor. It's a 6-core audio chip running Google-developed algorithms tuned by our in-house audio engineering team.
That's interesting.
It uses a neural processing engine to analyze external sound with extremely low latency, canceling it in real time through custom speakers.
This may be worth a purchase.
Now, everyone's ears are unique, so it's not always possible for the ear tips to form a perfect seal.
That's for
and that can
damn
lead to
sure.
sound leaking in from the outside.
Hate that.
To counteract this,
falling out.
our active noise cancellation uses new silent seal technology to compensate for audio leakage. This helps maximize the amount of noise that's being
Basically
canceled,
means
so you get
rubber sticking
immersive,
against your ear,
premium
right?
sound without distraction. Sometimes, though, you do want to hear what's going on around you. For these occasions, there's transparency mode. It lets outside sound in, so you experience the world like you're not wearing earbuds at all. But great earbuds don't just let you hear things, they allow you to be heard. So whether you're talking on the phone, or taking a meeting outside, our beam-forming microphones use noise suppression algorithms that have been trained with machine learning. Wind, traffic, or other background noise will be suppressed, and your voice will be clear, no matter where you are.
If I were you, Jeff, I'd wait for the reviews before you rush out to orders.
I know. Well,
The
having been
custom
burned
audio
in the
chip
past,
is also
Yeah.
engineered for power efficiency, so you get more
Buds
out of the
haven't
battery.
worked out so well for you.
In fact, Pixel Buds Pro gives you up to 11 hours listening time, or 7 hours with active noise cancellation turned on, so you can tune out the noise on that long flight.
Flight. Who's taking flight?
Like all our Pixel Buds, the Pro series are built to deliver a helpful, hands-free experience, so you can ask the assistant for all sorts of things, like walking directions, or get real-time translation in 40 languages, and much more. Pixel Buds Pro will support multi-point connectivity, so your earbuds know to automatically switch from a podcast on your phone to a video call on your laptop. It's so much easier than clicking into your Bluetooth settings, and it works between your compatible phones, tablets, laptops, and TVs.
The family.
And later this year, we'll update Pixel Buds Pro to support spatial audio. So when you watch a movie or TV show on compatible Pixel phones, you'll be right in the middle of the action.
3D? Is that otherwise known as 3D audio?
Yeah, or Atmos. It's what Apple's been doing. It's a kind of
Lastly, if you
validation.
ever lose an earbud, you can use Find My Device to ring your Pixel Buds Pro or see where they're at, even if you only lost one of
These
them.
are just basically feature for feature copies of the earbuds.
The new Pixel Buds Pro
AirPods
come in
Pro.
4 colors. They'll be available online for pre-order on July 21st
Which one,
and on
Jason?
sale the 28th, delivering the smarts of Google
Also
and top-tier active
$721.
noise cancellation for $199. And here's Rick with a few more Pixel updates.
Boy, that's
Give me a watch.
That's
Pixel book. Pixel book.
Rick Osterloh. Now he's the guy who might do the watch.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
We've got a lot in the
Hardware.
Pixel pipeline, representing
Head of hardware
investments
at Apple- at,
across
Google.
all different kinds of technologies. Custom silicon with Google Tensor, new multi-device experiences on Android, like Samir and Lisa shared earlier, cutting-edge AI research, helpful software and services, powerful data security with Titan
Get to the
M2,
hardware, Rick.
and so much more. It's an incredible tech stack. All of these things work in concert to deliver our vision of ambient computing, providing the help people need wherever they want it. In a multi-device world, people don't want to spend their life fussing with technology. An ambient approach gets the tech out of your way so you can live your life while getting the help you need. It doesn't matter what device you're using, what context you're in, whether you're talking, typing, or tapping. The technology in your life works together seamlessly. To get there, we start by laying the foundation with protected computing, as you heard from Jen. With these security and privacy fundamentals in place, we can deliver new, personalized cross-device experiences. Next, we add Google Smarts, a layer of intelligence and responsiveness So your devices don't just work better together, they work better together for you. We're working toward a world where your front door knows when to lock itself. Your TV pauses itself when you get up to grab a snack. Your devices know whether to send an incoming call to your phone, your earbuds, or your watch.
Or your
Building on our
watch.
ambient computing vision and our end-to-end
Pull up
Google
that
tech
jacket
stack,
there, Rick. Let's
we're
see what you
able
got
to
on.
extend what Pixel
I know.
devices can do for you now
back that
and in the
sleeve.
future.
Maybe he lost
to be
his
even more
watch at a
helpful.
bar.
So let me show you what's coming.
You have a laptop
I'd
there?
show you
in
my
your
watch,
stomach?
but I left it.
We will start with a quick preview of the new
There's the watch.
Google Pixel
And he is wearing it, and it looks
Okay,
just
pull
like the
back
renders.
The sleeve.
Yeah.
All right.
Preview though. Notice preview.
Yeah.
It's the first watch built inside
Coming in
and out
October.
by Google.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's coming this fall.
This
with our
fall.
new
There you
Pixel
go.
7.
Yeah, so the October.
With the 7.
Pixel Watch
Yeah.
has a
Wow.
bold circular dome design. A
You already know
tactile
all this,
crown,
but we'll show you again.
beautiful recycled stainless steel with
Does
customizable
look nice, I
bands
have
that
to say.
seamlessly attach.
It looks nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And Pixel Watch delivers an outstanding Wear OS experience on your wrist. It
I don't know that I
features
love
an
the band,
improved
but-
Wear OS UI with more fluid navigations.
Yeah.
Just like the
smart
Moto.
navigations.
You're locked in.
Go ahead.
You're
It's
locked
all
into
designed to be
their
tappable,
bands, as well,
voice-enabled,
because
and
it's,
glanceable.
Just like Apple.
Not a standard.
So you can be more
yeah.
present at home, at work, or on the go.
With
What he's wearing looks like
You
it
can
has
ask the
canvas or
assistant
something.
for help getting things done.
They get the same problem
And
they
for
had
those
with the
little bits
Moto
of information you
360,
need
which
throughout
is
the day.
there's a fairly hefty bezel
with Google
around
Maps,
that, which
yeah.
you can see.
You can get
and this is the problem. The reason
on
Apple
the
doesn't
go,
do a curve
even
is because you
without
lose
your
the
phone.
corners, so you lose some display
With the new
space in a
Google
round
Wallet,
watch.
you can leave your physical wallet at home too.
I do think round looks better on the wrist, but
Yeah.
You can quickly tap to pay at the store or to ride the subway. And with the new Google Home app for Wear OS, you can turn off the lights, adjust the thermostat, or get an alert when there's a person or a package at your front door. Now, my favorite thing about the watch is the deep integration with Fitbit, which is coming
and of course,
first.
we expected this because they acquired
Oh, yeah.
Fitbit.
Yeah.
It's coming first to the Google Pixel Watch for industry-leading health and fitness experiences.
This is the lesson Apple learned with the
You
Apple
can get
Watch.
insights into your
It
health
wasn't a fashion
with continuous
device.
heart rate
It was a
and
health
sleep
device.
tracking.
Right.
You can see your active zone minutes when you're working out and track your stats and progress against your personal fitness goals. Google Pixel Watch is a natural extension of the Pixel family, providing help whenever and wherever
Google would
you
love
need
to
it.
have the ecosystem that Apple
It'll be
does.
available
I mean,
this fall, and we'll share many more details in
And
the
if
coming
anybody
months.
could do it, it's Google.
Now, along with wearables, the Android team has made big advancements in tablet software, like you saw earlier. And there's so
new
much
tablet?
we can do here when we apply
Pixel
Google's
Nexus.
tech stack with Tensor
The Pixel Nexus
to a
7.
larger
A
screen
Tensor
Android
tablet.
experience.
Well, that would be interesting.
So I want to give you a sneak peek at
Again.
something we're working on for 2023.
Oh, Lord.
Now, normally we
haven't
wouldn't
really heard
announce
much
a new
about
product
this.
a year before it's ready, but there's so much amazing energy around tablets in the developer
There's
community
so many
that we
leaks.
wanted to bring you all into the loop.
Yeah, they really need to get the
So
app
here's
developers
a
to make
first ever
tablet
look
compatible
at our
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
Pixel tablet.
versions. Pixel tablet.
And it's that corner. That's all you get to see, ladies and gentlemen.
Android
It has
or
a corner.
Chrome? Android.
It's a next generation Android tablet
Android.
powered by
There you
Google
go.
Tensor, designed
Big.
to be a perfect companion for your Pixel phone.
Big.
The tablet
just like
bridges
a
your
Nest.
on-the-go life with your at-home
Yeah,
life.
it does.
Yeah.
Working seamlessly with all of your Pixel devices
So, but
to
with a
provide
Tensor.
the most helpful experience
Surely.
possible. We're designing it to be the most helpful tablet in the world, and we're aiming to make it available next year.
A laptop, Rick? Just a little laptop for me, please.
In 2025, we hope to do a new Chromebook.
So to quickly recap, Pixel
Oh.
6a,
that's it.
Oh, it's
Pixel
over.
Buds Pro
There
are
go my
coming
hopes.
this summer, And we'll have lots more details to share soon about Pixel 7, Pixel 7 Pro, Pixel Watch, and the new Pixel tablet.
Do you think supply chain, it must be supply chain slowing some of this stuff down?
We're pushing forward into so many helpful hardware experiences across phones, wearables, audio, smart home, and tablet computing. It adds up to a true Pixel family of devices.
Yeah, that's what they want.
With different options for different budgets and needs. With ambient
You
computing
don't have
as
a
our North
family
Star,
without Uncle
this
Laptop.
Pixel portfolio is a holistic approach to hardware designed around you.
You now have Aunt Watch. You want
bizarre, isn't it? They make Chrome OS, but they don't make.
And you can see
Well,
all
I
of
guess
this
they still are
online
making the
at
Pixel
Google
Books
Store,
Go, right? You can
or you
still
can
buy
drop
that.
by our physical Google stores in New York City. Along with our original location in Chelsea, we're adding a second one in Williamsburg this summer. So please step by and check it out if you can.
Oh, sorry, Rick. We're going to play this music now. I think he was still talking. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Now we get the ad for the ecosystem.
Should the Pixel tablet have the camera bar?
Well, it doesn't. Notice, yeah.
No, I mean it doesn't. But
yeah.
Should they
Would
have
it
stuck
need
with
it?
the design paradigm?
It's thicker anyway. Oh, it
What's
needs
that?
more than one camera, though.
Yeah. I actually, now that I think about that tablet, it only had one camera on the back, so that
Traditionally, it's always bugged me. I feel like the tablet should have cameras equal to the phone, but they just don't want to put those bumps on there, and they need more depth if they're going to do that. So,
yeah. All right, so the Pixel family expanded.
I like the new the camera bar on the 5A. That looks, or was that the 7? That was the 7 I saw.
It was the 7, yeah.
Yeah, the aluminum. Yeah. And now, final word. I guess we will close it off at noon. Sundar Pichai, CEO of
Today we
Alphabet.
talked about all the technologies that are changing how we use computers and access knowledge. We see devices working seamlessly together, exactly when and where you need them, and with conversational interfaces that make it easier to get things done. Looking ahead, there is a new frontier of computing, which has the potential to extend all of this even further, and that's augmented reality. At Google, we've been heavily invested in this area. We have been building augmented reality into many Google products, from Google Lens to multi-search, scene exploration, and live and immersive views in maps. These AR capabilities are already useful on phones, and the magic will really come alive when you can use them in the real world without the technology getting in the way.
AR headsets this year.
That potential is what gets us most excited about AR. The ability to spend time.
Wow, making that pointable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's just a demo, but it's a cool
The
idea.
ability to spend time focusing on what matters in the real world, in our real lives. You know, the real world is pretty amazing.
Google endorses real world.
That's good. There's those prompters in the back that he was reading.
It's certainly looking that way to me right now. It's so good to be back in Shoreline, and I can tell you're all enjoying it too.
Yeah, much reduced audience, and it does look
Importantly,
chilly.
designed in a way that is built for the real world and doesn't take you away from it. And AR gives us new ways to accomplish
Are those AR
this.
glasses?
Let's take language as an example. Language is just so fundamental to connecting with one another. Yet, understanding someone who speaks a different language or trying to follow a conversation, if you're deaf or hard of hearing, can be a real challenge. Let's see what happens when we take our advancements in translation
Yeah, look at the
and
temples.
transcription
You know, those.
and deliver them in your line of sight.
Am I going to buy Google Glass again?
We've been testing. Take a look.
Well, it's in a way, it's an opportunity lost. They were, kind of well ahead of everybody else.
Mandarin, and I speak English, which is a strange thing.
他讲英文我可以听得懂，可是有时候我讲不来嘛。
we'd love to be able to share with you a new prototype we've been working on.
So there is the glasses.
You should be seeing what I'm saying.
Oh my
just
gosh.
transcribed for you in real time.
Oh.
Kind of like subtitles for the world.
Heads-up display. Fantastic.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research in Google Translate and bringing that to glasses.
You see me? Oh, sí, sí te veo. I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
Oh, sí, sí, estoy viendo lo que estás diciendo para ayudarte. Making access to information just instant and intuitive.
I mean, honestly, wouldn't you want it to be audio rather
technology
than
fades
text?
into the background, and we're more connected with the people and the things around us.
Having gone through simultaneous translation, no.
No, okay.
It's very
it's weird.
People the
Yeah,
gift
okay.
of
Google
communicating
did
with
buy
anyone,
North glasses,
no matter
and the
what
heads-up
language
display
they
looks a lot
speak.
like the same
think
like
it's a
kind of
really
interface.
powerful.
That's right.
Que tengo que dialogar con muchas personas que solamente hablan inglés. Como
Anthony.
What I don't understand here,
love
though,
those
is
glasses, by the way.
Yeah,
this is just a One Direction thing, though, right? If you're wearing the glasses, sure, I can see what the other person's saying.
Yeah, it's not
How
going
do I?
back. You both have to have the glasses.
Yeah, I guess you both have to have the glasses on. Because, you know, if this worked in both directions from a single glass somehow, that would be an amazing travel companion, right?
Yeah.
Like anytime you go somewhere.
Well,
it's
that's
like,
right.
Cool,
So
I've got
could you put these glasses on? Because I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah, right.
You can see it in their faces, the joy that comes with
It's pretty cool,
speaking
though.
naturally to someone. That moment of connection to understand and be understood.
This is way
That's
off,
what our focus on
presumably.
knowledge
Yeah.
and computing is all about. And it's what we strive for
They'll do a new
every day
laptop before
with
they
products
get
that
this
are built
out.
to help. Each year, we get a little closer to delivering on our timeless mission.
A little closer.
And we still have so much further to go.
Yes, we do.
At Google, we genuinely feel a sense of excitement about that. And we are optimistic that the breakthroughs you just saw will help us get there. Thank you to all of the developers, partners, and customers who joined us today. We look forward to building the future with all of you. Thank you so much.
And there you go. A tight 2 hours. I mean, tight.
Yes.
Exactly. 2 hours. Google I/O for 2022. Of course, because it's Developers Conference, there'll be a lot more events going on. Traditionally, what Google would do is kick the press out at this point and let the developers stick around. The developer keynote is starting in 15 minutes. We'll break away from our coverage. If you want to watch that, of course, you can watch it on YouTube. We're going to go to Windows Weekly in a bit. Any surprises, Jason?
I mean, I think as far as the product side of things is concerned, I was surprised to see the preview of the Pixel 7. Although in hindsight, kind of like not surprised afterwards, just because Google year after year, at least in the last couple of years, has always been faced with these leaks, and they've done that unprecedented thing of like just eventually announcing it, addressing it, months before release to at least kind of get ahead of the leak channel. But now they're not even risking that. They're like, yeah, well, okay, here's the Pixel 7. It's not coming for another 6 to 8 months, but it's somewhere down the line, and here it is. So I was surprised to see them preview that. Surprised about the Pixel tablet preview for 2023, though disappointed that we have to wait until then. Outside of that, everything we kind of already knew about, anything that they were talking about with Android 13. Google Wallet, there were rumors that they were going back to that. It still makes me laugh. But yeah, those are kind of the highlights for me.
If you want the Pixel 6a or the new Pixel Buds Pro, you're going to have to wait to pre-order for 5 weeks. It's not a pre-order. It's July 21st. Yeah. For delivery July 28th. And I have to think that's a supply chain issue, but still.
They could have set the orders up now for July 28th.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they don't know how many.
Maybe they don't know how many they can
That's a
make.
really great point.
They probably don't know how many they'll have. You're right. That's
okay,
exactly right.
that would make sense. But it always feels to me a lost opportunity when you have a big event, big announcement. They're going to get tons of press in all different directions about this stuff, and then no action, no
People
call
are
to
gonna
action.
forget
because you
about it.
literally have to wait, and you're going to forget about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Jeff, any thoughts about what Google talked about?
Am I wrong, or did we hear absolutely nothing about Chrome OS?
Zero.
Oh, yeah, we really didn't hear about Chrome OS, no.
Zero. Not only did they not announce it at Pixel Book, they didn't mention their
there's
existing
that, but-
Pixel tablet.
Yeah.
That
Chrome
is
OS
interesting,
phone.
actually.
And they didn't mention Chrome OS at all. Yeah.
At all. And nor the new operating system, or is everything going to Android? Does Android become the future? I don't know. We keep on guessing around that.
Yeah.
I don't think I think when Leo complains about Google's not doing enough stuff, there is the behind the scenes AI stuff, which is pretty amazing. And I point again to language, where it is a quantum leap of quality in what's happened behind the scenes on language, and you just it's the boiling in the water. You don't know it until you're using it, and it really works. During the Ukraine war, I've been reading the Helsinki Sanomat almost daily because the translation is so good that I can figure out what's going on with Finland and NATO and other things, and so that behind the scenes AI development is pretty impressive. It just doesn't make it out to the world to say, oh yeah, Google's doing a lot of stuff. Looking at my notes here. The LaMDA education stuff is interesting.
Again, stuff we saw last year, but maybe they've made some progress with it this year. It'll be fun to play with the test kitchen when that goes live.
Totally.
And certainly the skin tone work is ethically. They use the phrase ethical AI, which is a little bit risky given the people who've left the company over trying to keep them ethical in AI, but it's a substantiation of what it means to be ethical in your computing.
Yeah.
To care about diversity truly in that sense, and so I think that's a good thing. It's a good model. That's kind of it for me.
I have to say though, if this wasn't, you could have done this same kind of keynote a year ago, with the exception of the hardware announcements, and and the year before. Google does inch forward in AI, but to say, oh now, our maps are bigger and we've got air raid alerts in Ukraine, all kind of small steps forward. The other thing that really struck me is how much catch-up they're playing or trying to play with Apple. It's almost as if they're saying, looking at the Apple playbook and saying, oh yeah, we'll do that too, rather than coming up with something new and unique. I still get the feeling of kind of a wounded Google. COVID was not kind to Google, and I feel like they're still not quite firing on all cylinders.
Which is odd. I'm not sure why that would be.
I don't either.
The case.
I don't understand it.
But you also consider, if you look at Google versus Twitter now, which is besieged, Facebook, which is a shell of itself, Google is the surviving tech monster.
Yeah. Well, Google and Microsoft and Apple, But, yeah. Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Now you get to go to the boring land of Windows. I'm sorry. Oh.
Jeff Jarvis will be back in a couple of hours for This Week in Google. Jason Howell will be back tomorrow with Tech News Weekly. I'm sure you'll have more to say about all this on All About Android as well next Tuesday.
For sure.
Thank you so much for being here, both of you. Thank you all for joining us for this TWiT News special, Google I/O 2022.
Hey, I'm Rod Pyle, editor of Ad Astra magazine, and each week I'm joined by Tarek Malik, the editor-in-chief over at Space.com, in our new This Week in Space podcast. Every Friday, Tarek and I take a deep dive into the stories that define the new space age. What's NASA up to? When will Americans once again set foot on the moon? And how about those samples from the Perseverance rover? When are those coming home? What the heck has Elon Musk done now? In addition to all the latest and greatest in space exploration, we'll take an occasional look at bits of spaceflight history that you probably never heard of, and all with an eye towards having a good time along the way. Check us out on your favorite podcatcher.